Welcome to the 367th episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on December 17th, 2023. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I'm also 50% of this here show. With me is the man who's currently stoking the hearth, Carlos Rodella.
Wait, what's a hearth?
It's like a fireplace.
Oh, I don't have a fireplace.
I do, and I'm freezing in my basement, and I need you to be stoking that hearth, otherwise I'm never going to make it through the show.
Okay, but if I have a hearth over here, how's it going to warm you up?
Is it just that warm? The spirit of Christmas or something? I don't know.
Spirit of Christmas, yeah.
But I need some heat down here because I am freezing.
Oh, you're freezing in the basement. That's right. You're in a basement.
I am in a basement. And, I enjoy having a basement. First time in my life I've ever had one, and I think it's pretty cool, except for it's cold and it leaks. Other than those two major things, I think it's pretty cool to have a basement. So.
It's underground. I had one growing up once in a house, and it's crazy because, of course, it's always going to be, potentially problematic. Bugs, dirt. I mean, it's underground.
I just feel like there's a thick wall of concrete, and we can put a man on the moon, and we can invent robots, and we can do all sorts of advanced technology and stuff. I feel like we could make a hole in the ground be semi-comfortable.
Yeah.
So
that said, it probably is just a lot of money, right?
That's what it's. Everything's down to money, right? If I have $1 million, I could make this place a bomb-ass, cool little man cave or something. But as it is, it's just like a wet and cold hole in the ground. And speaking of which, you have to watch out for emissions, right? Anybody listening, if you don't know this, there's radon, which is an odorless, colorless gas which can seep in from underground through concrete. And I have a radon monitor literally right on my computer. It blinks to let me know that it's working, and if it's quiet, that's good. If you hear one beep, that means watch out, danger. And if it does a long beep, you've got 5 minutes to get out or else you die.
Whoa. So we hear any beeps, we need to
any beep at all. Yes, I need to run out of the basement ASAP and start ventilating. But so far it's been quiet. I think we're okay for today.
But to that point of basements that could be good for, lots of money or whatever.
Yeah.
We talked about, I think last episode, that Netflix movie, Leave This World Behind. Or Leave the World Behind.
It's on my list. I haven't watched it yet, but yes.
Yeah. So, this is a minor spoiler, but, in those kind of movies, you'll see people have bomb shelters and, places that are really fancy underground. So you can do it for lots of money.
Oh, you can. And speaking of undergrounds, or sort of undergrounds for lots of money, I don't know if you've seen this, Carlos, but a while back there was to do here in Seattle. We're right on the water, Puget Sound, so lots of boats, lots of water. There was some guy from Microsoft who had way too much money, and he had a houseboat, which isn't really a boat. It's basically just a floating house. All the rich people do it now. And he wanted a basement, so he built himself literally an underwater basement on his houseboat.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking the wildest thing. Go Google it if you don't believe me. Check it out. It's crazy. It must leak like bananas since it's completely underwater and it's really cold. I don't know. That's what you do when you got too much money, I guess. I don't have that much money.
Know.
I'd be fine with just my leaking stopped. I don't need to be underwater completely.
Can I have some of his money? Jeez Louise.
No, you can't, and neither can I. Now we have fucked around long enough. We need to start talking about games.
Yes, video games.
Video games. All right, folks. Now that we've talked about all this kind of nonsense stuff, let's get to some game-related stuff. As everyone knows, Carlos and I share a virtual living space divided down the middle with a strip of duct tape. His side, my side. Things are a mess, and we're going to tidy up right here and right now. It's housekeeping. Carlos, what is on your side of the room this week, sir?
Before we go into said house, like I mentioned on Twitter, via our Twitter, which you can still follow, So Video Games. Is it just So Video Games or So Video Games Podcast? I should know this.
I don't know. I should know that too.
Okay, well, anyway, so look up So Video Games Podcast on Twitter. You'll find us. But as I mentioned on there, maybe we should change the name of this because it's all game stuff. And so it's instead of a house we're walking into, maybe we're walking into a game store.
No.
None of it works.
No, in fact, J Monster, one of our super fans, emailed after last week's episode, and he was like, don't change it. Leave it. And I'm like, okay, cool. We'll leave it. So.
Well, no, yeah. People said keep it, but the name of it, I definitely talked with some people.
No, he said don't change the name. He said keep the name too. He likes the whole
somebody
thing.
else on Twitter agreed with me and said we could change it to something else. Anyways, we don't have a new name for it, so we're in a house.
Regardless, we're here.
And it's very full of stuff. Before we get into any of the other boxes, I thought we'd open two of the biggest boxes, which is this year in review.
Oh, yeah.
because all the Spotify Wrapped, all those kind of Wrapped things came out. Hey, this is your year in review, and just made me think about how to finish the game of the year, which I haven't done yet. And so PlayStation and Xbox both did theirs. I guess also Nintendo's did theirs too.
Yeah, they did. Isn't it funny though to think back? This rap thing, it only started a couple years ago, and wasn't it like, I feel like it was PlayStation that started it? Am I wrong on that? It was like nobody had done it, and then I think it was PlayStation that did it first, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And now it's like everybody under the sun does a rap, dude. So that shows like how popular and how powerful, this kind of response can be. Just a little bit of this influences the whole industry. I'm getting like my cable provider sent me a rap. My grocery store sent me a rap. Everybody's doing a rap, dude.
Well, Spotify I think did it first. I think
was it okay? Maybe
PlayStation copied Spotify.
Could have been.
But they were like, I think, the first game company to do it. And as we'll see in a minute here, I still think they do the best version. I don't know what Switch is like and Nintendo's like, but man, it is very detailed and cool, the PlayStation one. And I did the Xbox one as well.
Okay. Well, I did mine. I just got the highlights, but what do you got on yours?
Well, you have less highlights than I have. Why don't you just do yours real quick?
Okay, I'll just give you mine. So I got all three of them real quick. So on Sony PlayStation, I played 49 games total so far. My number one game played was Cyberpunk. I'm sure people could probably guess that. And total hours was 382 hours on PlayStation.
Okay, so that is quite different than mine.
Really? What do you got?
Well, because I guess we'll just jump to my PlayStation one.
Yeah.
I obviously play most of my games on there.
Yeah.
And I logged in 1,000 hours.
Wow. Okay.
On the PlayStation 5 and 173 games.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because that's your main platform.
That is my main platform. And by the way, the Xbox is no slouch, though. I actually spent quite a bit of time on there, even though I kind of semi-dog it on the show. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, 1,000 hours is a lot of time.
That's a lot of time. Okay, so I don't have anything else for PlayStation. What do you got? More stats for PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it real quickly. But like, it says my top game of the year was Diablo 4. They're picking it for me. But basically, it was like, I played a ton of time in that too.
Yeah.
It's interesting with the PlayStation one. It says here's the first. They literally break it down into months, even. Like, here's what you played most in January.
Right.
And all that stuff. But it'd say your first game of the year, and I'm going to have you guess, because no one's going to guess this, but what do you think my first game of the year on PlayStation was?
Oh, I don't know. It's probably one of those shitware, like, $2 elevator jumper games or something.
You're not wrong.
Snap.
It's actually it was called Wall-E and the Fantastic Predators.
Okay, what was that about?
I don't know. I can't even remember.
I was that good. Okay.
It was that good. No, but I did. I think it shows a fox holding a sword. Okay. So it was one of those kind of games.
All right.
But yeah, and then what else we got here? I'm just going to quickly eyeball it. Yeah, Diablo 4 is interesting. It says 238 hours.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of hours.
Then the next few, just really quickly, top level, Cyberpunk, because I spent 40 hours doing that DLC stuff.
Sure, Dogtown.
40 hours beating Forspoken.
Okay.
This has reminded me, actually, for Game of the Year, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which I liked quite a bit.
A lot of people like that one this year, yeah.
And I beat it, and I spent 40 hours in that.
40 is a pretty big game for an action game like that.
Yeah. And then also 35 hours in Dead Island 2, which I also beat.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that game.
I know. So it's like these are definitely like bringing up things. But the last thing I'll say on PlayStation is it says, I am a thrill seeker. That's my gaming style.
Interesting.
So
I was like a
that.
gunslinger. I don't think that applies. I think that's wrong.
Gunslinger?
That didn't make
any sense.
You don't
play shooters.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why they chose that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho, and then Xbox, did you already say your Xbox stuff or no?
Not yet. I have it right here. So Xbox, I played a total of 118 games. So this was like a little bit more than double what I played on Sony.
Yeah.
My number one most played game was Wo Long, which makes sense. I think I put like 75 hours or something into that. And total Xbox hours was 356.
Wow. Okay. That makes sense.
What do you got?
Again, this is surprising because I didn't think it would even be this much. But I have 33 games on Xbox.
Okay.
That's not crazy. It's not nothing to sneeze at.
No, not at all.
167 hours.
Okay, so about half. That's interesting. I didn't think it was going to be that much.
Half of you?
Yeah, I was at 356 and you're at
167.
Yeah,
but
about half.
It's like 1/10 of PlayStation because it's like 1,000 versus 167.
Right.
But there is some time there. And then top games, By the way, you're in the top 20% of players for hours played. Really?
Me or you?
Me. I mean, both. Neither of us. I mean, that's kind of interesting and telling. Like how many people are spending only. That's not that much time. Anyway, so Starfield, for all the hate we've gotten out for this damn game, I played 76 hours in that game.
You beat it at least a couple times,
and I beat it twice.
Twice, okay.
So 76 hours, beat it twice. I can say what the fuck I want about it. But yeah, that was my number one game on Xbox.
Gross. Okay.
And the second one, again, I forgot about this, but I really did have a lot of fun with it, and I beat it. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh man, that's right, Ghostwire.
And I remember saying on this podcast, going like, "I'm glad I went back to it because I really liked the ending." And I think a lot of people didn't really finish that game.
Yeah, you connected with that one. Yeah.
And then I spent 13 hours in Atomic Heart.
They just released some DLC.
I'm not going to go back to it. It's too hard. I've given up, actually. Weirdly enough, I didn't finish that one. But anyways, that's my tops.
And then you don't have a Switch. Did you get a Steam wrap-up by any chance?
Oh, I could look at it, but I didn't.
That's okay. I don't do anything on Steam. I didn't even bother looking. My Steam wrap-up would have been, hey, you have a Steam account.
Oh,
and
really?
That would have been it, right?
You know, I'm going to guess mine, and I'm going to say if we 167 in Xbox, and a lot of that is Starfield, I would say there's probably 50 good hours, or maybe 60 in Steam.
You should look it up. I'll say my Nintendo hours. You can look up your Steam hours if you got it handy. So the Switch hours, I played 103 games on the Switch, so almost the exact same number as I did on Xbox. So about 50, and then I played half as much as that on PlayStation. My number one most played game was Shadows Over Loathing, which makes sense. I did enjoy that one. It's funny because I didn't even finish it. I got all the way, I think I'm within a stone's throw of finishing that game. And then I got distracted on something and I just paused. So I have a save that's like maybe like an hour away from rolling credits or something. I need to go back and finish it. That's stupid. And my hours played total, 194 hours. So not quite as much as Xbox, but definitely like way more than Sony. So definitely, which is no surprise to me. Fewest games played, fewest hours PlayStation. Most games played, most hours played Xbox. And that's on track because that's like my main platform, so it makes sense to me. I'm not surprised by this.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
And yeah, you play so much Switch, it's crazy. Every episode and another
Switch.
game for the Switch. It's gonna take too long to do the Steam one.
Okay,
I have to log in, and I'm logged in, but it still won't give it to me. But
no worries.
We'll look it up some other time.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, back to the notes. Oh, by the way, I was downloading Fortnite again. I always like delete it and then re-download it. I should just keep it on my system because I get mad at it or something. But I want to go back to Lego Fortnite because that is very good. And I think I might make a video series, because like people do that with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because you can create your own world. And I like the fact that you can create your own world independently of people. It still makes a lobby and it says matchmaking, but it's just you,
Right.
And so I'm going to make a world in there and just maybe, I don't know, start making like a series from that. But when I did it, it like broke my internet. Because,
oh, really?
Yeah, like I feel like every time I've downloaded Fortnite or some other massive, 100 gigs or something, like sometimes, yeah, my internet goes, nah, I think I'm going to break now.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, interesting.
I don't know if that's ever happened to anybody listening, but like I feel like we're just so... A tangent's like waiting to happen here. We're so used to like downloading like 80 gigabytes at a time.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fucking data, and our pipes aren't there yet. We just still don't have, everybody doesn't have giga, Ethernet or whatever. So I feel like there's still some issues when you have to like today, say I did like 2 games. It's 140 gigabytes maybe, maybe
what kind of internet do you have? What do you got?
I'm in an apartment, so we have like the group thing. So it's just like I have a box and it's plugged in Ethernet. Like it's, it's pretty fast, but it's just the point is that we're in that in-between stage in the world where like everybody has like kind of iffy internet,
right.
Like anybody listening probably has a story like this, which is like, yeah, I just went out one day or, I don't know what the fuck. I reset it. So it's just like the data transfer, unless you have giga, it's still weird.
I'm actually really lucky in that respect because, I must be in a special pocket or something because I have fiber optic.
Yeah.
And it goes really fast. I don't even need the cable anymore. I used to be wired, but now I'm just on the Wi-Fi and it goes so fast. Like I can download stuff really quickly. I think I am in the next step of the internet evolution because I don't even really think about downloading anymore. I just go and like it might take like a minute, but like it's not like the all day thing like it used to be.
Oh,
In my
yeah.
old apartment, dude, I would download something in the morning before I went to work, and I would cross my fingers that maybe it would be downloaded by the time I got home from work.
Right.
But different situation over here. So clearly someone from like Microsoft lives in my area because
Nice.
like it's been like mega like upgraded over here.
Well,
but I think it's not like that everywhere though.
It isn't. Yeah, especially because that's another good point is that the speed. Like my speed is actually fast. Like if I do that, and by the way, remember it's also there's like 4 tangents unfolding. It's also on server side too. It's not just you.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
You can
for
pull
sure.
down as much as you can pull down data wise, but if they're like servers are slow or that particular game like fucking Lego Fortnite is getting downloaded a million times,
Yeah.
it does actually affect the download rate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
and also I feel like PlayStation's had a problem with that. To talk shit about them for a second, where like I would download something on Xbox faster than PlayStation, just in general. Anywho,
Well, I mean, we're right down the street from Microsoft, and PlayStation's in California, so it's got all
It's
those extra
true.
tubes to go through.
yeah. Anywho, I tried to mention that, and I'll do download Fortnite Lego again. And no, we'll never play together, even though we both play it. But I will make an individual world.
All right.
And Death of E3 happened. They kind of
Oh
officially
yeah, that's
announced
right.
that.
Dang, I forgot about that. Okay.
I don't want to be like laissez-faire about it because both of us, do really appreciate it and it's and our experience there.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh yeah.
I have so many memories, and I think we've brought this up like every year of the podcast where I think it's going away again, So
Yeah, they finally did put the nail in the coffin. And just to recap, I mean, I don't know if anybody's heard us talking. We have talked about it several times, but despite the fact that it's been kind of like, kind of the cool kid thing to do to like shit all over E3 in recent years. People bitching about having to go and what a drag and all this stuff. I mean, man, like be grateful for what you had because like E3 was like the Mecca, the heaven, the kind of like unattainable goal of us when we were kids back in the day. And like the thought of even going to E3 was like better than Disneyland, better than, whatever, anything, better than going to a topless bar with a stack of ones. I mean, it was like
Jeez.
anything, like it was like the best. And we, you and I both got to go.
Yep.
So that will always be like an amazing memory. And I'm really grateful for the opportunities and the meetups and the people. I mean, a lot of my great game stories are from being there in E3 in person. I mean, a lot of the luminaries that I met and all the weird people I bumped into and all the cool stuff that happened. So I'm really grateful for it. And, despite the fact it wasn't itself in recent years and, it got kind of corporatized in the wrong way, et cetera, I was never one to like really just like shit all over it. I'm kind of sad that it's gone, even though it hasn't been itself lately.
Yeah. And by the way, I went to one of the last ones. I don't know which year it was. 2021 or 2020? No, 2020 is pandemic. I must have went to 2019 or something. But right before probably the pandemic, I went, and I actually enjoyed that it was a little more chill because it was like, I guess, dying, right?
Yeah.
And I remember being there and going like, oh, I can just walk around and it's not as crazy right now. Anyways, yes, I miss it. I have tons of memories. Just thought I'd give it a little pour out.
Yeah, let's pour one out for E3. Glug, glug,
I have
glug,
a
glug,
soda
glug.
water. By the way, I love this water. Not a sponsor, but could be. Vina soda with smarts.
Okay.
So it's just like, like a soda water, but with trace minerals in it, which I feel like are good for you. I don't know, and prebiotic and fiber.
Okay.
So all the stuff I need, and it's cherry pop that I am going to pour out, but I'm going to pour it into my mouth. Does that count as pouring one out?
We're going to say that it does for the purposes of this show.
Wait, hold on. Is that a podcast title? Pouring one out in my mouth?
No,
that
might
gets
get
a
us.
little too-
Yeah, that might get some
get dinged
some
for that.
censorship or something. Yeah.
Game Awards. I just want to mention one thing. We didn't go through all of them, and we won't. All
The
kind of-
Keeleys?
Yeah, the Keeleys.
Oh, okay.
All the announcements we didn't go through, but I want to mention 3 things from it really quickly.
Okay.
One, I don't know if I mentioned this last episode, but Visions of Mana was announced.
No, we didn't talk about that.
So Trials of Mana is one of my favorite games ever, which was a remake of an original game. But the remake, as I've said on this podcast, as much as you talk about Nintendo Switch, that I love the dodge roll from Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
My favorite dodge roll of all time. Of all time. Right neck and neck with Greedfall's dodge roll.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Must be pretty good then.
Because they both, by the way, they both do, and this is kind of a thing, they both do that thing where when you do the dodge roll, you can face the direction that you're coming out of it in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And not many games do that. I think
cool.
Dragon's Dogma does, and I think Dragon's Dogma 2 will too. So Visions of Mana is a new game finally, like with that engine. So not a remake.
A really long time.
What?
Has it been a really long time since the
Yeah.
last one?
Yeah. I mean, they haven't made a new one forever. And so, like, it's just like they were like, oh, this sold really well, Trials, I think. And we love the engine, so we're making a new one. So excited.
Excellent. I'm sure that'll be right up your alley.
It's literally, I can't
It is
order
your
fast
alley.
enough. It is my alley. It's my whole house. And Monster Hunter we didn't mention.
Oh, yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, I believe it's called. Yeah.
So next year, like, I don't know what the
No,
date was.
not next year.
Oh, not next year. Okay.
2025, which is like, dude, why did you
Oh.
even bother showing this trailer?
It's like GTA 6. Like, we'll get it someday.
Yeah, well, you know, as I was speaking to J Monster to mention him, second shout out to J Monster on the show. He's my Monster Hunter buddy. You know, he was like, well, maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be like January 2025 instead of like, you know, deep in 2025. So maybe like effectively only a year, and that would be fine. But to be honest, I mean, I'm okay like letting Monster Hunter simmer for a bit. I mean, I really had a good time with Rise. But I didn't go back to it like I have with previous Monster Hunters. But this one looks pretty interesting. Just to give a couple highlights, it looks like they're maybe going to do like actual open world this time. I know the game has never really been true open world, but maybe they're going to do that this time. It also showed you having a mount, which was there's been mounts before, like you could ride the dog and stuff like that. But this looked more like a for real, like it's like a big thing. It's got wings and it also can like run and jump. Maybe it can even attack possibly. That would be pretty cool. And it looked like J Monster brought this to my attention. It looked like your hunter had 2 weapons, which may not seem like a big deal, but since in Monster Hunter you pick one weapon and basically just get married to it for a while, if you can switch between 2 weapons on the fly,
Whoa.
that would really kind of change up strategy quite a bit. So if you're in that world, that is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, not to joke, because like most games can do that, but yeah.
Monster Hunter, but you know
thing.
the scope to which Monster Hunter leans into it. It's like
I know.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
all right. Well, it'll be fun, and I just thought I'd mention it because it's like it's your world, it's your alley.
Yeah, it is my alley. So we'll see. 2025.
Yeah, the future, and also another shared alley that we both have that is up our alley. Light No Fire.
Oh yeah, that's the new one from Hello Studios, right?
Yeah, Hello Games.
Hello Games.
No
Yeah,
Man's Sky, and
yes.
obviously, you know, when it happened, it was fun. You know, these why I like these Game Awards show because it happened live, and he's like, "You have a new game, right?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Is it as ambitious as No Man's Sky?" And he's like, "Maybe more."
Crazy person.
Crazy person to say it, but it does look more because it is that kind of right from the get-go shared world, you know, multiplayer experience, but also one place, so it's not like a million infinite planets, and it is just this massive open world where you can, you know, it's like a like games we've seen before. I don't want to say Fortnite because it's not like that, but like an MMO or something where you can create things, and yeah, it looks really good. So whatever, I don't know.
I mean, Sean Murray, number one, I need him to take care of his mental health because I know that he was in some real dark times with No Man's Sky. And I believe they said that he's already been working, or they, you know, the team has already been working on it for like 4 or 5 years already.
Yeah,
so
for
hopefully
a while.
they're deep. Yeah, hopefully they're deep into this, and hopefully it launches in a good state, and they don't have to go on that same trajectory of like throwing themselves on the pyre over and over and over until they earn people's respect. And then once they got the respect, they kept on going. And you know, I eventually really liked No Man's Sky. I think I bounced off it at least like 3 or 4 times before finally clicking with it and finishing it, honestly. So I hope that they are in a better place and have things kind of sewn up a little bit more. Like, I'm not trying to sound demanding or anything. I just want them to be like to launch and have good times rather than like all the hate like they used to get. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just gonna like say that they're gonna be fine. I just feel like
I hope so.
You go through that experience, and also you repair it, similar to CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
like they did a good job. Like, you know, good on them. They fixed it, or at least they brought more people to it, and they kind of, you know, listened to the fans. So I just think they're going to be going from such a great place. So
I hope so. I genuinely wish them well, and I really want them to succeed for sure.
Actually, kind of akin to that or similar. I'll just bring this up now, and we don't have to talk about it for a long time. Although if I bring it up, you're going to say things.
Oh, no.
Because I think, here's how I'll segue into it. I think when No Man's Sky, in the beginning, there was a lot of the idea of just procedurally generated stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you have that, does that make fun? You know, does that make fun for you to play or whatever.
Right.
And in the beginning, for me, Carlos, I definitely just loved it. I don't even care that it was like nothing to do. I just liked because it was so weird and different. But I bring that up because some people can say the same thing about Starfield, which is like you create a bunch of procedurally generated areas and stuff, and is that fun? And actually, this is a perfect thing because the comparison is No Man's Sky listened to their fans, right?
They did,
and they literally changed the game. Like, you don't always have the opportunity to do that.
Like multiple times they changed the game, yes.
Like it wasn't even like multiplayer, right? Like it was this whole other thing, or like direct, multiplayer.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that's an example of doing that and listening to your people who are playing your game that you sold them or whatever. And then you have this thing that just came out with one of the directors of Starfield attacking critics and the basically fans themselves, saying that they don't understand what it takes to make a video game.
Yeah.
So they can't be mad. And that's just wrong. Like
It's horseshit. It's horseshit of the highest order. I mean, so I think you bring up a good point, and I agree with you 100% because that's the difference between Hello Games, No Man's Sky, and Starfield. Like, I think Hello Games had, like, Sean Murray had this idea in his head, right? And he launched according to his idea. And then people got his idea, and they're like, yeah, we don't like your idea. And instead of him telling them to fuck off and telling them that they don't understand or that it's hard to make a game or that they're playing it wrong, what did he do? He's like, okay, I'm going to change it. And he did. And, not him, his whole team.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm just shorthand here. But, over the course of, 5 fucking years or whatever it was, almost drove him to the brink of fucking suicide, literally. He kept changing the game, and, he got to a place where, I think it's really well received, really well respected. Mm-hmm. I think people now respect what he did, and the game is, I think, better than it's ever been. Not to say that fans are always right, not to say that you should be a slave to the fans, but at least listen to their feedback, hear their concerns, and maybe your vision doesn't line up exactly with what people want, because honestly, sometimes the vision is great for you, but it is not great for everyone, and that's just the trauma of being a creator. Sometimes the thing that you love personally is not what other people love, and you have to either be okay with that, or you have to go with the flow. And Sean Murray decided to go with the flow.
Right.
Over here with fucking Starfield, they're telling people they're playing the fucking game wrong and making games is hard and all this stuff. That is not it. You are not doing the right thing.
And on top of that, I just want to mention this because in that same sentence of Sean changing and Sean and his team changing the game, there was still a kernel that everybody did like, right? There was something there.
For sure. There was something there.
That was people were passionate about.
Yes.
And I think when you have fans that are passionate about your game and then you listen to them, that's a great situation to be in, right?
Agreed.
And that's, I think, why he and them, their whole team, is in this situation now where they have tons of people playing that game still, and they just are, people are building it and stuff like that because they like something there, and then you go with it.
Yes.
To your other point, if you have just your indie game or you're just a smaller studio or your AAA studio and you make something that's just your vision and no one digs it, then that's fine. That's just like me making a content creator, making something that no one likes, or making a piece of art that maybe sells or doesn't, right?
Sure.
You just have to stand by it, and that's fine. But you can't do what we're just talking about, which is critique people and say, they're doing it wrong.
They're basically saying you're not appreciating what we've done. You're too dumb to understand what we've done, or you can't really get into what we've done, and what we've done is good. Yeah. That's not the stance you take, whether you're a writer or a TV producer or a movie maker or a musician or whatever.
Yeah.
You just, like you said, you stand by your art, but then, you don't tell people they're stupid for not appreciating it. I mean, if you can, and then you just look like an asshole. So
yeah, or you do what I do, which is just take the video down and be sad for a week.
Anyway, and just to really I really want to underline this before we move off of this topic. I just want to be super clear in saying that I do not think people should be slaves to the fans. I know I said that already, but I don't think fans should always get everything they want. I just think you should listen to the fans in terms of hear them out and see what their concerns are. Just do that. I think that's good enough. I'm not saying fans should always get their way.
100%. And that's why I brought up just organically the No Man's Sky story, because again, they didn't change. They added to the game, right?
Yeah.
Their vision was still there, which is create this infinite planets and stuff. And we never talked about it. Maybe we did on the show. We must have. But I really liked its weird ending. There was multiple endings.
Oh, there's a couple different endings.
Yeah. And I really, really enjoyed again, that base vision of his of that ending, and I was fine with that. So
I don't think I understood the ending. I don't think I understood anything about the ending, and I don't think I understood the story. But I really like that game.
Okay, we could talk about that because I actually researched the shit out of that, and I know exactly what my ending is. But lastly, I want to mention just a few games that I played that aren't in the main game section.
Okay.
So this would literally be game housekeeping.
Okay.
I got it in there.
Okay.
He's like, just move on.
Just keep on. Move on, Carlos.
Dungeons of Sundaria. I've mentioned on the show before, Dungeons of Sundaria.
What?
It showed up on Twitter, TikTok, somewhere, and it reminded me that I'd played it because I play everything. And I went back to it on the PlayStation, but it's on Xbox. It's on, I think, everything. Probably not Switch, though, because it's pretty huge and it's kind of data. You could look. But Dungeons of Sundaria is like a straight-up old-school like dungeon crawler, but it's third-person action RPG, right? So you're running around doing all your different moves, like a Diablo, but closer to the character.
Dude.
What's the thing? What's the thing?
I pulled up my phone to type in this to look it up because I don't remember it. It was literally the first thing that came up. They're listening to us, Carlos.
What?
There's no way in the world that should have been my first search. There's like a billion games that have dungeons in it. There's no way it should have known we were talking about Dungeons of Sundaria. I don't even know what this game is. Oh man,
we know our phones everywhere. We know our phones are listening to us. Hasn't this been decided? So, anyways, I just thought I'd play it again because I saw it like on my TikTok feed or something, and I had played it.
Oh man, this looks like ass, dude. Is it good?
So what it is, it's that serpent. You know, RuneQuest. A lot of people play RuneQuest.
I didn't play RuneQuest.
Well, I'm saying currently play it. It's like a fucking phenomena. It's like one of those like WoW or something, right? People just love to play that game. Like RuneQuest OG or whatever looks like on purpose, like simple graphics. Right?
I never heard of RuneQuest.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
PC only, dude. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're sounding old right now.
Oh my god,
yeah, you're sounding old right now.
This game looks old, is what it looks like.
Exactly, though. It's like fucking huge, dude. Yeah, it's huge. Anyways, so there is people are just dedicated to these old school games that like. You know, they might not look
old.
the best.
That shit's old. Let it go. Move on. That's old. I'm not old. Fuck that.
No. But I'm saying like they're games that are upkept. You know, like. By the way, it's RuneScape, and I'm an idiot. I said.
Yeah. Okay, RuneScape, of course. Yeah. Okay. I know.
Okay. I'm the fool now.
See, you're the one whose memory's going out on you. My brain is still fine. You're the old.
I am old.
See?
But RuneScape, you know, there's like a newer version, or you can just play the old school version, which looks like ass, right?
Right.
But almost everybody plays the old school version.
Gotcha.
They just do. And I watch streams of it, and people love, you know, just like
But is that people who
have
have played it back in the day or people who are coming to it new?
A lot of new people. People.
Okay.
I think the number one YouTuber that I watch plays it. It's Will. I think he started kind of recent. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, the point is, this is like those games where like it's okay graphics. It's at least for me, it's third person action-y RPG, which I love. And it's just a loot fest. Like it's almost like to the point of what's the word? Not problematic, but like it's just too much loot. It's like constantly loot, right? But there's a little itch that sometimes you want, like a Diablo does for me, right? In Diablo, there's actually a lot less loot that I actually need, and that can be a problem with that game. It's more about the moment-to-moment gameplay that I love, and it's just like kind of a cathartic thing. But this is like you just go down into dungeons, leave whenever you want, come back whenever you want at that spot, by the way, which I think is really cool. You know, it's not like go through all the levels again. It's not a fucking roguelike. You know, it's like
right.
Do what you do, get great, get better, go back to town, upgrade your shit, go back in. And there's something really addicted to that, man. I'm like kind of all in again. So it's kind of it doesn't, by its looks and its playability and like it's dropping frame rates and stuff, it doesn't matter. It's kind of clunky, but there's something addicted to it because you get like, I don't know, 100 pieces of loot every run that you're doing, maybe or more.
That's too much loot, dude. That's way too much loot.
I
can't deal with that.
Okay, I don't think it's for you.
Not for me.
And lastly, I played City Driver, which we got a code for. I love all simulation games. I'm a simulation guy.
Yes.
And so this was like drive a car in a city, super realistic. So I love that because
that's all it's about is driving a car in a city.
Yep, it's all it is. But now I researched it, and it's actually dedicated towards the people who have like the steering wheels, you know, and the pedals.
Oh, you mean like people have the actual peripheral steering wheels?
Yeah, it's like focused on that. Like I think
really?
It was, yeah, I think it was a Steam game, a PC game, and it got ported. I was playing on a PlayStation because it literally had menus for like steering wheel.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
once I learned that, I realized what it was, because at its face value, it's like not a game that I would normally play, where it's like you just third person car, drive around and smash things.
Is it really trafficky, or is it like a jokey simulator, or is it like a realistic simulator?
No, it's like so realistic that it's not for me. You know what I mean? Like,
we got so much traffic around here. I don't know why anybody would want that. So,
oh, dude, you know what it does? And this is kind of a point in their favor for realism. It makes me not want to drive.
yeah,
I don't drive anyhow, but like, it literally dings you for everything you do wrong. So as soon as I started, I have like a Tesla or something, like a nice electric car that goes fast. I immediately put the gas down and I'm flying, and it's like, you're speeding. I'm like, damn, bro, I just started.
Oh,
so it's like it's like dinging you on all like the infractions or whatever. And also if you hit people, because that's the first thing I did.
Well, yeah, you definitely don't want to be hitting people. If it's a sim,
but
so
they don't let you. They go, as soon as you hit the person, it goes to a menu. And it goes, it goes like, you hit a pedestrian, be nice, don't do that again.
Think about what you've done.
Yeah, so I felt bad about it.
Wow.
And then also it lets you do things like park and then go into a restaurant, and you don't actually go and have the restaurant experience, which I wish they would have done. But you go, like, you leave it, so it's like based on where you parked, if you get a ticket or not.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like doing all the things, like if you never driven before, if you're like an early, driver or something, or you just really are like into the simulation of it, to like, watch how you.
This is kind of cool actually, because like I'm a big time driver. My job when I was out and about pre-COVID, I was driving all the time, like night and day. Like I drove as much as a taxi driver did, because I was going all these different locations, and I'm good on driving. But my kid, and I see this happen a lot with other kids that I know, because we're in the homeschool group here in Seattle, and I know lots of kids that way. And like a lot of them have like zero interest in driving, and a lot of them are like, I don't really want a car. I don't really want to drive anywhere. I can take the bus, or I have public transportation, or if I really need to go someplace, mom and dad can drive me or something like that. But they don't have that same itch that I'm sure you and I both did when we were like, 15, 16. Oh, I want a car. I want to get a car. I want to drive. I just don't notice that same pull. And maybe if you put this game in front of those kids, they'll realize like driving is dangerous and it's expensive and it can be really fucking annoying, and it's not like GTA. And it's kind of interesting to hear somebody take on that aspect of it rather than the cars are fun 24/7 and nothing ever bad happens.
Yeah. That is interesting. And I think it's like for that, and it's also for just, there is a huge community for car simulation. And they just want to like, is my steering wheel doing exactly how it would in the real world or whatever?
Right.
But for me, it doesn't work, because like I want to like smash things and do crazy things.
Maybe not the game for you then.
No, but I will say this, of course, because I break every video game. I was able to pull off some crazy tricks with some speeding and some crashing, and I did make a video of that. So
all right,
it looks crazy. Anywho, let's move on. What's your boxes?
I got just a couple things. I just wanted to really briefly touch on the day before. We talked about it last week.
Really? You're going to talk about it?
Just for a minute. Yeah, just for a second. Because we talked about it the day before, the day before as news broke. You had kind of talked about your impressions. You said like it was a piece of crap game and all this stuff, and you got a refund. But literally like the next day was when the announcement came out about the studio shutting down.
Yeah.
And
we
so
didn't talk about that in the show?
No, it happened the day after we
goodness.
recorded. Because a couple people wrote in like, I can't believe you didn't mention it. I'm like, oh, bro, it was like literally the day after we got the show in the can.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
So we didn't mention that. But anyway, just to circle back to that just for a second. So they put out a statement, Fantastic, I think their studio's called, something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, sales weren't what we wanted, and we sad to say we've got to shut down, blah 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 blah. Okay, fuck you. What a lie. This is a total like absolute rug pull, dude. Like they had no intentions of supporting this game. There's no studio on earth that is so hinged on like opening day sales that they're planning to close a week after game launch. Like, even the worst performing game in the world thinks they're going to hang on longer than a week after launch, dude. They already had their bags packed. They had already packed up their Nespresso machine. They had already unplugged everything. Whoa. They didn't pay bills. They tried to take everybody's money and run, and that's all this was. It was a big fucking scam.
Yeah, we're late to the game, by the way, because yes, everybody and their mother has a video on this. But I will say you're right, and also an asterisk, they didn't take their Nespresso machine because there was never a main office. With all the videos that come out and the research I did, because I made those videos from it, I got a lot of comments as well. they were, the volunteers in quotes, people who helped them make the game.
Yeah.
They were all remote. So there were 2 offices, and someone actually went to them, and there was nobody in there. So like they actually had like offices that probably people went and had meetings here and there. But in general, there was no place to leave. There's no put your stuff together and leave.
Yeah, meetings to scam people is what they probably had meetings
Well,
about.
yeah, it was just like fancy, like well-paid lunches or something that those 2 guys, but whether they're brothers, and they just they just do these kind of things, which is like make a game that kind of works and make some money off of it. But everybody says the rug pull. For one thing, no rug was pulled because I think almost everybody got their money back. Like, they still made $1 million or something.
Sure.
But that's not much money for a scam. So I just want to bring this up, that everyone's calling it that, and it's true. But at the same time, I just don't understand why they would have done this thing to make not much money. Because
maybe it was a lot of money for them. Who knows? I don't know. Even if you make like $1 million, that's like a lot of money for a lot of people, man.
It doesn't seem right, though, because they worked on Prop Night. They worked on games that actually shipped. I've done a lot of research on these guys.
I don't know.
And so I just think it's weird. So, yes, you're right. It's fucking broken. It's not really a game. And we all found that firsthand. And so they're gone and good riddance. And they actually changed their name already.
Yeah.
Back to their original name, I think. So, yeah, it's silly. But it gave me 1 million views. So I don't give a shit.
Anyway, I just wanted to circle back because I know that some of our listeners were wondering why we didn't talk about that.
Right, yeah.
And so I just wanted to, we got to at least touch on it because, the news happens. Life comes at you fast. And sometimes, we're just,
We do a weekly podcast. It's impossible for us to know. Yeah.
That
said, by the way, I will give us a pat on the back that most of our housekeeping is pretty damn current. So
yeah, it is for sure.
All right.
Speaking of which, I just got 2 more things real quick. So I just want to say, I know I talk about it every week, but I do have to say, Lamplighters League, one of my favorite games.
Oh my goodness, you are going to mention it.
You got to
every
listen.
episode.
Yeah, for real, you got to listen. Okay. They put out a final patch, and guess what it's called?
The final patch?
Yes, it's called the final patch. That is actually what it's called.
And it's the final housekeeping for it.
It is literally called the final patch. So they said they're no longer working on the game. They've ended their relationship with their publisher, which has been contentious. They've had some problems with their publisher. They did not get along. And so they're like, this is, we really wanted to provide for the fans. We know a lot of people have been suffering on Xbox. We're sorry about that. So they did put out the final patch, and I just want people to know, because I've been singing this game's praises the whole time. I loved it when it was broken, and I have said officially on record, the most unstable game I've ever played in my life, because it crashed every 4 minutes. And I still loved it. But now with the final patch, I have been playing for at least 15 hours since the patch dropped. Not even one bug, not one crash, not one hiccup.
Nice.
They fixed the frame rate. They fixed the save. I have seen 0 problems. I'm going to knock on wood, because now that they've fixed the game, I'm actually like 2 missions away from rolling credits. So it has been totally fine. And if you haven't played this game, it is now playable. Caveat on Xbox X. I have heard people say that the S just doesn't have quite enough horsepower to get it done. But if you're on the X, which I am, it has been now currently a flawless experience, which I'm very, very happy about. So I just wanted to make sure people knew, because, who's going to go play the most broken game Brad's ever played? No one wants to do that. But now it is now a normal game, which I think is great. So
go play it.
There you go. Also, we do have to mention The Last of Us Online ending. I'm surprised you didn't bring it up.
Oh, I guess I didn't care too much.
Okay.
Yeah. You mean the multiplayer game, right?
Yeah, I didn't care too much either, but I think it's interesting that, Naughty Dog, one of the biggest, most celebrated, deepest pockets, developers out there, and The Last of Us, I think is undoubtedly one of the biggest franchises right now. I mean, it's like multiple remakes, multiple awards. That guy, whoever is the writer, has gotten all sorts of awards.
The show.
TV show, all that stuff. And so they were saying they were planning to do an online focused kind of a thing. And they're just ending it. They're just stopping. They're just straight up stopping. They're not curtailing it. They're not cutting it back. They're not changing it. And they said their statement, which I thought was very interesting. We didn't want, we could either keep it going as a single player studio, or we could do an online service, like a live service. And they're like, we didn't want to do that. And without it being a live service, we knew that our audience wouldn't be happy, because the bar has been raised so high by other online services, right? Like, Destiny or Fortnite or whatever, where people want new stuff like 24/7. And if you don't provide, they turn on you. So I think honestly, they're kind of smart. They're kind of smart to do that by not trying to do their own thing, by not trying to fight that particular current, and just being like, we're going to stick to what we do best, which is like one player content. And I think nobody would really argue that. And I think it was really wise they didn't try to do a half-assed multiplayer thing. So.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, look at Suicide Squad. I mean, we haven't talked about it much in the show.
No, we haven't.
But what the fuck did they do with that thing? I don't want it. No, I mean...
I don't think anybody wants it.
Yeah, a lot of feedback has been negative. It's like they just took the characters and you could replace them with any other characters. It's not about the Suicide Squad anymore. It's like this online... games as a service game. So yeah, I'm really I respect the decision. And in that vein, real quick, Once Human is a game I'm playing, and I'll talk on next podcast about it.
Okay.
It's everybody wanted the day before. People still are hungry for those kind of games, which is like a little bit MMO, a little bit games as a service, a little multiplayer, but also kind of like a dark kind of world, which Last of Us fits into. So Once Human's actually like that, but a little Kojima mixed in.
Okay.
And it's pretty fucking good already, I'll say. But yeah, I'm going to mention that next episode. But yeah, people are hungry for that.
What is the name of that one that's coming from the people from Dave the Diver, the zombie survival? What is?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I forget, but that might be another one to keep an eye on as well. So
yeah.
We'll see. Somebody will fill that slot, but it's not going to be Naughty Dog. And regardless of my feelings on The Last of Us or Last of Us Part 2, I do respect that, and I think they made the right choice. So
I do too.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here, but before I do that, I just want to remind people Game of the Year is approaching, and I think that we're on track, Carlos, to record actually on December 31st if we do it early in the day before any New Year's Eve stuff. We can talk about that offline, but we'll probably record pretty close to that time, I think. And so we still need people to send in their top 3 favorite games of the year plus 1 disappointment. So please send those in and we'll read those off on the show. And another reminder that we have a Patreon going if you'd like to help out and support the show by helping us defray some of the costs, the hosting and the tech stuff and any games that we need to buy that we don't get a code for. You can bop on over to patreon.com/the So Video Games Podcast. If you'd love to support us financially, that would be great. We are not going to do any paywall. Nothing's behind a paywall other than the fact that you can join our Discord if you hit the $5 mark. But other than that, same show, no held back episodes, nothing hidden. You're going to get the same stuff every week because we love you.
Yes.
All right, that's it for housekeeping. Let's move on to the main portion of the show. Carlos, are you ready?
Yeah, it's an hour. We're like almost an hour. Come on, let's go.
It's 47 minutes. It's not quite.
It's almost an hour.
Okay. Carlos, a couple of fighting games up on deck for you, a couple of demos, which is surprising. You're not usually much of a fighting game guy, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah.
All right, so what do you got on deck for us here?
Well, I'm always looking for the next content. You know what I mean? I'm a content creator.
You're a content guy.
Tekken 8 came out as a demo on my PlayStation, and I was like, well, everybody likes that game probably, right?
Are you a Tekken guy from back in the day?
I'm a non-anything guy.
Okay.
Anything fighting, I just run away generally.
Gotcha.
I think it's interesting to watch. I like my friends like playing it and like watching big-time streamers, play expertly. But I'm not that. And every time I go back in, I realize that I should just leave. Kind of like play a certain shooter or Fortnite sometimes, and I go, oh, yeah, I'm bad.
Right.
So I'll leave now. But as you saw with like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, a lot of these games do a lot of quality of life stuff now where they add a little bit of single player-ish stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And they also add, you can always do easy mode, right? So you can kind of get used to how to do it again. Right. So I just thought I'd give 2 fighting games a chance. The first one was Tekken 8. I did record some stuff. It'll go up on my social, glitch to the ground. But what they did is they made an arcade mode where you make an avatar and you run around an arcade and potentially in the full version, like a world. I don't know.
Oh, is that similar to what Street Fighter did then?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, it looks just like Nintendo's, Mii's or whatever.
Oh, really?
Well, the ones that look a little better. It does Mii's look better nowadays, right? They don't look as
no. They still look like those big old lozenge heads and kind of blocky.
Okay, so better than that. Like whatever, like a kind of an avatar like that, and you make that in the demo. You can't make one, but they're just showing you have like a little character. Okay. Anyways, you go around an arcade and you talk to people, and there's a little bit of kind of quest, a little bit feel, and then you challenge people, and they're at an arcade cabinet. You play them. Then it just goes to the game. But that was interesting, and I think in the full version, it might be cool to see what they do with that. So I did that. I just ran around and talked to people. Funny side story, and I don't think I'll make a TikTok of this, so I'll just tell you. But when you go into the arcade, you can't leave. And then I went to the back of the arcade, and there's like a girl sleeping like on the bench, and I was like, "Can no one leave? Are we all like
weird
stuck in this arcade forever now?"
There's some kind of like meta afterlife kind of thing. Are you in purgatory actually?
Yeah, like the that's really dark. Anywho, so then I played the game. It's a fighting game.
Sure.
And it feels I don't know, pretty good. Like I wasn't bad at it on easy, and then I did normal, and I was like winning sometimes. So I can't really like talk to what it is as a fighting game because I'm just so not schooled in it.
Right.
But they had like 4 characters open. I played them. I enjoyed them. I pulled off some of the moves that you're supposed to pull off, and it was kind of fun. I actually ended up just like KOing everybody by kicking them in the knee.
Sure.
I thought that was funny. And they go, "Oh, my whole game is over, and I just got a knee sprain." It's a game that is a fighting game, but I just thought I'd bring it up because it did do that little bit of different thing with the avatars.
Well, that's cool. I used to be a pretty hardcore Tekken player actually back in the day. Like Tekken 1, I drove really far because I knew where there was an arcade machine, and so I really wanted to play it, and I enjoyed that. Tekken 1 and 2. Tekken 2 was the best for me. I played that so much. Tekken 3 was still pretty good, but they kind of started to lose me around 4, and now they're up to 8. And I got to be honest, I kind of fell off of it. Not only just because I don't have the time and energy to like get better and keep up with people, but I think just it just kind of got like overly complicated. The original claim to fame for Tekken was pretty revolutionary back in the day, where you had a stick like every other fighter, but also you had 4 buttons: left arm, left leg, right leg. And that was like a very big change in design. And so all the moves, if you just watched the attract screen or you watch people play, if you watched what they were doing, you could actually figure out the special moves just by watching how their character moved. If they dashed forward twice and then did a right kick, and you did forward, right kick, it did the move. You could figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And you could make sense of it. But it just got more and more complicated. And to be honest, I don't know what it's like now. Maybe those quality of life things are good, but it got so complicated that it was really hard to just play with a controller. You really needed a fight stick because of some of the button configurations were not really viable with your hand on a controller. You needed to have your four fingers pointing down on a flat surface in order to get some of those, especially if you want to do some of the really like the really cool like cinematic combos from like King, the guy with like the jaguar head. It was like, the opposite buttons and then the opposite buttons, and it was like there was no way you could do it with your hands.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I still have a soft spot a little bit for Tekken, but I feel like I'm so far removed from it. If I came back to it now, it would be like I think anything would carry over for me from the olden days,
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I did notice that there's also this mechanic called heat. I think it's like you get on heat mode or something.
Oh, sure.
And then you can do extra moves. But some of those extra moves, to your point, were 2 buttons held down in a direction.
Yeah.
And on a controller, even if they're the top 2, I was like moving my thumb upside down, and I was like, oh, that doesn't feel good. So you're right. I think that's already still in there. So I'll never be great at it. But and then the other one I really quick want to mention is the GranBlue. So GranBlue Link, I believe, is the RPG that's coming out very soon.
Okay.
I think a month or so. And I'm very excited because it's an old school RPG kind of with a comeback, and it's a new game. And it looks just like so up my alley, like a Tales of Arise game. Action combat looks amazing. So I'm very excited about that. But this is a fighting game with that world, and there's actually like a story campaign. I know there's single player games, that have that, or fighting games, but this is, I think there might be like some backstory to the game that's coming out. So I don't know if many games have done that, where like like Guilty Gear or something, and if they had like a companion RPG or something.
Right.
So I just thought I'd play it for that reason, because I am excited about the GranBlue game. Okay. And there's a lot of cutscenes actually in it, like a lot of actual straight up like anime cutscenes for the single player version. So I thought that was cool, and it's easy. It's like it's 2D, but it's like art style, like a kind of sketch style.
Okay.
Like a drawing, and I don't think you'll like it, but
I'm already out, dude.
You're so out.
Yeah, I'm out.
But just in general, it was fun to play because it was easier for me. I just feel like what you're saying, it wasn't all those millions of combos.
Right.
There was stuff to do, and there was grabs and all these things, but I just felt like immediately better at it for right out the gate.
Okay.
So I think it was actually quite fun, and I actually like that better. So if I'm picking out of those 2 demos, you can play a GranBlue. It's called the free version, and it's, I don't know, it has less things, but the full version is out. You can buy it. But
interesting.
If you just want to like try it, you can get the free version.
Well, I mean, that makes perfect sense, right? If you're not like a dedicated fighting game fan, I mean, I think that was really the big attract thing for me for the most recent Street Fighter, which was Street Fighter 6, wasn't it? Is 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was because they did a lot of quality of life things towards people who are not already fighting game aficionados, right? They had like I don't think it was called the easy mode. It was called, I forget what it's called, like approachable mode or modern mode or something like that.
Yeah, it was modern.
I think it was modern mode where they changed the control setup like really radically, where you had much simpler inputs, you had fewer moves, but it was just way more approachable. You didn't have to do like your PhD on like the different movesets and stuff. And so, you know, you may not have the same level of mastery as someone, but it was just like so much more fun and quick and easy to jump in. And that's what I thought was really cool about it, that Capcom was really willing to look at their formula and say, hey, we're like locking people out because this is too complicated. There's too much baggage. It takes too much study to even get good at this.
Right.
And when you do get good, people just smash you online. It's not fun. So I appreciated that. And I think that maybe if Tekken hasn't already done that, it might be good for them to do that, because I'm somebody who used to love this game and it's too complicated and too rough even for me. So it would be great if they did take a step back and give a modern mode or something like that, where you can just jump in and you don't have to really break your brain figuring out the moves and stuff like that.
Dude, that's so similar to what we said in the beginning about listening to your fans and listening to people who want to play the game and maybe can't, you know, like the No Man's Sky stuff. So I would say that Tekken 8, from my experience so far, just with the demo, doesn't do that. Okay. And I think GranBlue does, because again, on easy mode, just playing the story, like I'll probably finish the story. You know, like I'll play that easy mode story, learn about the character, and actually like maybe find that I can do a harder mode after that. So it's all like, it's like bringing you in, you know, and what brings you in and what doesn't.
Yeah,
so.
and that's what you really got to do. I think fighting games are starting to realize, and that's what Mortal Kombat figured out a while ago with their story mode. You can't just keep catering to the people who know the moves and who are playing online 24/7. You've got to expand your audience past that, and I think that's just real world.
You can, and just have a lesser audience. That's all.
Oh yeah, or yes, be ready with that. So
all right, that's it. Some fighting game corner.
All right, fighting game corner's out. Let me talk for a minute about While the Iron's Hot. This was a code sent to us. This is one of the games that was announced on the Nintendo Direct recently, or the Indie Showcase, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that. There was a lot of games.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to talk about. We didn't talk about it. So this is on the Switch, and it is a 2D pixel-based blacksmithing game, which we don't get a ton of, but I will say there has been a bit of a blacksmith renaissance lately, where I've seen more and more games popping up.
Has there?
Yeah, little small mini renaissance.
Okay, mini renaissance.
I can think of maybe like 4 or 5 games in recent time that are blacksmith games, as compared to fuck all 0 for the last like 10 years or whatever.
You got to call it that then, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just started it earlier today. I'm just dipping a toe into it. I think it's really interesting. I actually would be really cool with the idea of a blacksmith game, because there's the idea of like kind of like having your shop, but not so crazy into the crafting. I think I'm looking personally, speaking about me here, for something that's kind of crafty, but not super like a million menus and you spend all your time harvesting resources crafty. I want like crafting light, and with some story, maybe with some action, with some stuff in there that's not just crafting, because I find that most of these ones are just really bananas over like, oh man, the formulas are so complicated and you gotta have 27 components and get on your crafting table and your crafting table plus, and like it's like, dude, you're wearing me out. Like I think this is kind of a cool idea of being a shopkeeper, but I don't want to be that much of a shopkeeper. I want a video game light version.
Can I just pile onto that? Because you're so right. Like, I think number one, I'm very interested in this style of game. Mm-hmm, I think both of us are, and we've talked about every one of them in existence on this podcast.
Very close to it, yeah.
Right. And how many have we stuck with? I think Potion Craft kind of fits this bill, and I stuck with that for quite a while.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, because it was, again, simple. Like, I really didn't find... there was complicated recipes, but I don't know. I feel like you could pull off in that game really quickly, tangent. You could, like, someone comes into your store and asks you for something. Right. So it's like, again, it's telling you what you need to do. And I'm like, okay, I want to make this person feel better because they're sick. I know how to make that. But yeah, I just want something straightforward. And I'm hoping this game might be that. I don't know. I like straightforward.
You know, I guess I don't know either. I'm still kind of just like in the opening hours of it. But I think I'm definitely after a game that like hits that middle ground of like, a little bit of crafting, so you're not just doing like a press A mini game. Like I feel like I'm doing something, but I also don't want to spend 9 hours crafting one piece of armor or doing something. And I'm not saying this game does that, but a middle ground is what I'm looking for. And I think so far it's starting off okay. I think the premise of you being an apprentice blacksmith, you're on a ship. The ship gets looks like it gets blown up. Honestly, you don't know what happened. You wake up, some guy rescues you off the beach, and then you're in a town that needs a blacksmith. Fortunately enough, and he's excited, so he gets you off to a good start. Gives you like a little shop and gives you a place to sleep, and then you can go from there. And there's some platforming stuff. You can jump on some platforms. You're in a mine. You're like getting some ore from the mine. You go back, and then you go around and talk to people. And hey, what do you need? I need an axe. Okay, cool. You go back to your shop, and there's some recipes that seem so far to be pretty straightforward. To do each part of the recipe, first you melt the ore. There's a little mini game associated with that. Then you pound the ore with your hammer, and then you sharpen it if you need to sharpen it. If you're making a blade or a knife, or if you're making a hammer or something like that, then you don't sharpen it. And then you assemble. So there's like 4 steps to making anything, and they're pretty approachable, pretty light duty, which I think is fine so far. I'm sure it's going to get more complicated as you go on, but this is just the beginning. So I think that's okay, and I think it's off to a pretty good start. Like, it tells you where to go. The quests seem pretty straightforward. Like, I know what I'm doing, and that's all good. I will say though, I think that there's like a million little like rough edges to it though that I think are kind of weird and wonky. Just like there's an energy system, and I get why they do it, because they don't want you like doing too much in one day. That's a trick that I see a lot of crafting games do, where like in like a farming game, you can only harvest so many crops because then you get tired and you got to go back to bed and then start the new day. Like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, I get it. Like, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I can deal.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes the energy goes quickly, sometimes it goes slowly. So that's kind of weird. The thing that really irks me is like, there's like a day-night cycle. And I think this game absolutely does not need a day-night cycle like at all. I was walking around and it got dark. It feels like it gets dark way too fast. And I just couldn't see on my screen. Like, it was just literally dark. And I'm like, man, this is video games. I need to see the video. And it was just way too dark, and I was like stumbling around. I'm like, oh my God, where's my remote? I got to turn up my brightness. Fuck that.
Well, in the game, gamma settings, right?
Well, yeah, that too, or whatever. But it's just like, so I don't think it needs a day-night cycle. Some of the menus, I think, are just kind of like, here's your backpack button, but then here's your recipe button, but then here's it's just like, I don't want to get off on a negative rant or anything. I just feel like so far there's a lot of little weird choices that none of them are bad, but they're like, that would have been better on a different button, or like, how come it's not this other way? So I don't want to say too much about it because I'm just starting it. I'm brand new, and I definitely want a blacksmith game. I'm giving this one a shot. I think this might be the one. I'm just going to get past this opening section and learn its quirks and then see where it takes me. So I remain hopeful. I don't have more to say on it just now, but I think it's off to an okay start. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and that once I get what it's doing, that we're going to get there and it's going to find that middle ground. But so far, fingers crossed, and we'll see.
Okay, that's a great one to go back at too and check in, because as soon as you say yes, if you say yes, I'm going to get it, because it's been in my little category of maybe.
Right. All right. I'll keep you posted, but so far, hopeful.
Okay.
Hopeful. All right. Moving on, Carlos, a game called Cookie Cutter, which I've heard a lot about, but I have not played. Tell us about Cookie Cutter. I suspect it's not about cookies.
Nothing to do with cookies. I guess it's because you cut people and there's blood, and that's a cut. I don't know why.
Just like when you're making cookies.
Yeah, when you're making cookies, you know how you like have to kill people.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I just made cookies the other day. It was a mess.
I really should know why it's called that, but I don't know.
Is your main character called Cookie or something?
Oh, wait, maybe. No, her main character is Cherry. Yeah, there's nothing.
It's a mystery.
Could have been called Cherry Cutter, really, because Cherry does cut. That's like her whole deal. So, okay. What is this game? I just saw it on the PlayStation Store, similar to like whenever you go to your Switch and look at your Switch store.
Yep.
And we just buy things from it. But the art style is really cool in the fact that it's that animated 2D, very like hand-drawn, cartoony look, where like there's a lot of frames of animation. I don't know how to explain this style, but it's that cartoony, hand-drawn, and it's a 2D like brawler, battler, Metroidvania game.
I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking.
I did a terrible job again. Anyways, what is the game? And it just caught my eye because it was like really stylized and cool looking. And it's that, Metroidvania game where you go or run around and fight things. But the style looked cool. It's a robot, like the main picture is like a robot cyberborg
Yes.
lady, and she's like flipping off the camera, and it's like, okay, badass robot. I'm in. And then you watch the trailer. Yeah, it's like this. You're like this robot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is very
things.
like very animation heavy, very kind of like irreverent.
What's the word I want? Yeah, irreverent, but it's like Castle Crashers in that style, right?
It's like really, really heavily stylized hand-drawn art style.
Yeah,
okay,
you can see every frame, and it's like there's extra frames for moves and stuff, which I can like a lot, I'm trying to think of all the other games like this, and they're all eluding me. I think of Castle Crashers, but anywho, so the beginning is so dark. I have 2 games in this list where the beginning is so dark that it also kind of throws me off a bit. I like, I can be down with gore and some other things sometimes, but it's like the story is like there's a woman who makes a robot, and then, bad dystopian figures come in and don't want them to happen. And so they kill, they totally destroy the robot, but like the robot's made kind of like a human. So the things that come out of it look like blood and it looks like intestines. So it's like weird that they're like decimating this thing, which has that whole tangent of like, what's alive and what's not.
Right.
If it's AI and robot. But anyways, it's like overly graphic. And a lot of this game is for, I'm not sure what, like, I guess that's their style. But in the beginning, it's like super dark. Like they capture the woman who made the robot, but they totally like keep destroying and like dismantling and, pulling out the insides.
Yeah, I do remember this trailer. And I remember thinking, it did seem pretty bloody. Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, it's
a robot.
Back to me now. Yeah.
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter. But it's like it's the intention. Anyways, it's all the idea of being, like you said, irreverent and stuff like that. So you prepare yourself, and in the game when it first starts, you're Cherry, and you look like a regular person. So you happen to be a robot, but you are a regular person, unless you die in the game, which again, it's usually gory and like all your intestines come out and you're destroyed in a really gross way. But you also destroy, monsters and stuff and bad guys in the same kind of gross way. You have chainsaws. You have like all these different weapons, like 4 or 5 different weapons, special moves, run, jump, down, attack, all the stuff you would see in this kind of a game, right? 2D battler. But a couple of things of note. The very first thing is I don't know how to say this. There's another word for this. Yoni. I can say yoni. And not
Are you talking about female private parts?
Private parts, yeah. I just recently learned some of the new lingo that you can say that you don't get dinged on. What's it called?
So
censorship.
Yeah, like censorship or something. Yeah.
So this robot's yoni, which she has, by the way, is a cyborg, talks to her.
What?
And that's the main like little character who talks to you about stuff in the game.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, it seemed a little corny.
That
like
seems problematic to me.
It could be. I just don't. I was very confused, but it's obviously very apparent because like that area blinks when
wow.
And it also looks very much like that area.
I mean, is she like wearing underwear or something? Like, or what kind of?
No, it just cuts to a cutscene of a little character, like a little face character, and the character is in the shape of someone's yoni.
Wow.
To say it in that way.
Okay.
And didn't need it. I'm not offended by it. I don't care for it either. It's just like, what? Okay.
Well, I did not see that coming.
I didn't either. And so that's a thing. And then the most important thing, though, the most offensive thing to me.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Ready? What? And you know me, I don't get offended. It's too hard.
Oh, okay.
There's no difficulty settings. And I was like, maybe that's because it's just fun and easy, and it's more about the story, which it really seems to rely on the story. Like it's focusing on revenge story and all this kind of weird little jokes that happen with, that part of you.
Wow. I mean, are the jokes funny? Do you feel like they're humorous, or is it
great? It's kind of middle of the road.
Okay.
And the point is, at some point, I'm like having kind of fun with the combos and these finishers. Again, they're really focusing on like gross finishers and stuff. And I just got mad because like I didn't have enough health. I had to hit moves perfectly. And the cardinal sin in the world of Carlos and kind of Brad.
Really crappy dodge roll?
No. The dodge is okay. It's that certain enemies, including a lot of them in the stage I'm in, need you to parry.
Oh, God. Jeez.
I mean, I was like thinking that maybe they're just giving the option, because it is, you can dodge too.
Yeah.
But the dodge wasn't doing it. I was still eating shit, even though I was dodging. And I was like, no, give me the option. Don't make it again. And
I mean, are there even iframes, or do you just have to like straight up just like hard dodge?
No, it's a parry button with a flash, that bullshit flash thing.
Right. But I mean, when you dodge though, are you invincible when you dodge, or are you not invincible?
No, I don't think I am. Because that's why I'm like eating shit, because either that or it's like you have to have it just perfectly timed or something. But
right.
It should be giving me, I feel like I'm going to still eat shit if I'm dodging. And so they'll do those fucking lights of flash. I don't want to see any more flashes in my video games that say, do parry now,
And is it a really tight window, or how is it?
It's pretty fucking tight, yeah. And also, it doesn't matter if it's like a few enemies. You could just like punch through it, like one of these beat 'em up kind of games. But if it's a lot, and they're like the part I'm stuck in, which means I'll probably not go back to it, is like there's a bunch of bad guys, and then they're all wanting me to parry, and a big bad guy shows up, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. A big guy with 1 million hit points.
Right.
So I don't want to play it. Like, and it's stopping me because there's not like Metroidvania where I can go a different direction. It's like, no, this is where you're supposed to go right now.
You're just stuck until you get past that part. Yeah.
So it can have a talking Yoni. It can have grotesque blood, a weird beginning, which I don't think they needed that grotesque for, even though it's a robot. I know it's a robot. But the thing that's offensive to me is too hard.
Wow. I mean, yikes, bro. I wasn't expecting us to talk about this when you kind of brought it to the show as a surprise. And now that I'm listening to you talk about it, I'm like, ooh, wow. I don't know what to even think about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to think. I think that it's trying a lot. It's like, but it's almost like try hardy in a way.
Yeah, I get you.
You're like, oh, I get it. That part talks. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Maybe do something with it. I don't know. Maybe later on they'll,
I mean, I would hate to think they were doing it just for shits and giggles. I mean, I would hope there would be like a point to it.
No, that's why I'm saying I think there is. I think there's some sort of like good intention here, and the idea of a story of revenge I'm always into. But I just literally got stopped because I couldn't get to the next area. So how am I supposed to even figure out if you were saying something? You know what I mean?
I've ever told you, Carlos, that one of my favorite sayings of all time is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Have I told you that?
Maybe. Yeah.
That is one of my favorite sayings, and maybe it applies here. Who knows?
The road to, yeah. All right. Anyways, that's the game.
Cookie Cutter. Hey.
I checked it out.
All right. Moving on. Wall World. This is a game I've had my eye on for at least a year or two. I saw it on PC. Got some PR about this a while ago, and I'm like, man, that game looks really interesting and different and cool. Let me know when it comes to PC. And they're like, yep, we sure will. And they didn't. I just saw it show up in the Switch store, and I'm like, damn it. So I just bought it, whatever. This is a really curious one. So it is a 2D pixel-based, I'm not even sure what to even call it. You start the game in some kind of like weird dystopian future where all of humanity, the entire world, is living on a wall, vertical wall, that has... People don't think there's a top and they don't think there's a bottom. They think there is just like wall. That's their whole universe is wall. And so you start the game as like, I don't know, like a miner, I guess, or something, explorer type person. You've got a little mech suit, and then you go into your ship, and your ship is shaped like a giant metallic spider. And the spider can crawl up the wall, and it can crawl down the wall, and it kind of just clings to the rock surface of the wall. And this is all 2D side view stuff. So basically what you're supposed to do, crawl up and down the wall until you find a weakness in the rock, and then you drill. Your spider's got to drill inside of its tummy. And so it kind of gets up next to that wall and drills into it. And then you leave your ship in your mech suit, your personal mech suit, and you go inside the wall, and then you drill like you're mining for minerals and ore and stuff like this. Again, 2D still.
Yeah.
So you drill for like gems and metal and ore, but at the same time, you've got to keep your eye on a meter that tells you how close enemies are getting to your ship. So like the meter slowly rises as you're drilling. And then you got to figure, okay, how far into the mine am I? Can I get back to my ship in time? You got to get back before the enemies start. And when you do, you hustle back, jump back inside the spider ship, close up the hatch, and then a little gun pops out. And then you become kind of like a turret, basically. Now, you can be stationary, glue yourself to the wall and stay in one spot, or you can still climb up and down and shoot at the same time. It's up to you. And so monsters will come from the top of the wall, they'll come from the bottom of the wall, and then they will fly in from the air to the side of you. And you've only got like one little pea shooter at first, and so you've got to like shoot them off and try to like not take too much damage. You fend them off, they come in waves, and then when you're done, you go back in the mine.
Interesting.
That's basically the whole loop of the game. So this is a really interesting one. It's kind of like a roguelike, but kind of not, because if you take too much damage, you go in your escape pod and your spider ship blows up and it goes, oh, your ship blew up. Start again. And you just kind of go back to the wall and start again. So it's a little bit of a roguelike in that way. But when you get back to your hub between missions, there's all this sorts of equipment you can upgrade. All the upgrades are permanent. So your ship is constantly getting better over time because you're getting, resources, and you're unlocking like a faster crawling speed and a better gun and all this stuff. So those things go up. But then there's also a secondary part. Because your ship blew up last time, any upgrades you had that were in the ship itself, I know this is confusing, but there's like hub upgrades and there's ship upgrades.
It's a lot, I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. I'm sorry.
And what's funny is originally I said, because I was like, this is a Brad game. This feels like a Brad game.
It definitely is. It definitely is. So the hub upgrades, permanent. Ship upgrades are run dependent. So if you lose your ship, you lose your ship upgrades, but you will always have your hub upgrades. So you are slowly getting better over time. And there's also story bits. Like every once in a while, you'll dig into a mine and you'll like come across like an abandoned lab, and there's like a dead guy there who's got like a, logbook or something like that. And it's like, oh, you found so-and-so's like notes or something. And that kind of builds up to like this giant story that you're leading towards. It's a slow burn though. Like story nuggets are pretty few and far between, and the permanent upgrades are kind of slow coming. But I have to say, I do find this game kind of like compelling in a way that I can't quite put my finger on. I think a run is about 20 minutes or so, and at the end of each run, a giant monster comes out of nowhere, and he'll try to attack you. And if you survive it, then you can keep going. But eventually, you're going to die. Like I don't think it's possible to like win a run. I think you have to like upgrade and upgrade and upgrade and upgrade and upgrade, and then maybe like after you've got all the hub upgrades, maybe you're tough enough to fight off that monster and you can win. And that's probably going to roll credits for you. But up until that point, you're looking at like 20-minute runs. So I think that's a pretty good time. 20 minutes is a good chunk of game where you feel like you played a bunch, but you also can leave it and come back to it. Like it's not like an all-day commitment, right?
Yeah.
The slow buildup of your stuff is, I think, pretty good. I think the slow trickle of story is pretty good. It could go a little faster. I wouldn't mind accumulating more resources quicker. I wouldn't mind a few more story bits as you go. But apart from the fact that it's a little bit slow, I think I'm kind of into this one. It's like something that I play. I'll do like 2 runs a day, like in bed, right? I'll be like, okay, 1 run, how'd that go? 2nd run, and then I'm done. I just walk away, and I come back the next day. And I think it's going to be one of these things that I chip away at for like the next 6 months or something. I don't, but I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's worth a look. If anything I've said sounds intriguing, and you want a little side game to play in between your other larger games, I think this one fits the bill pretty well.
Yeah, it feels like if you listen to this podcast and like a lot of what Brad likes, you probably will like it. You know what I mean? It feels like that kind of vibe, and especially the roguelike thing, but also some permanent upgrades. So yeah,
it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. I'm glad I saw it in the store, because I very easily could have missed it. I wish PR would have let me know. I would have gotten on it sooner. But there you go. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. All right, Carlos, Stray Souls. I've heard a lot about this one recently, and I'm very curious to see what you have to say about it. I don't know a lot about it, even though I've heard a lot about it. I've heard people mention it a lot, but I haven't looked into it. I don't know like what this is about, other than the fact that it's like spoopy, right?
It's spoopy. It's supposed to be like a Silent Hill kind of game.
Okay.
My voice is already.
I can hear the tone
down.
of your voice already.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
I mainly got it for the lulls and for the content, because I knew in advance what this game was and heard some kind of negative things about it. It's third-person Silent Hill game, Resident Evil, right? Where you walk around and fight monsters, and it's spooky and dark or whatever, right? And I'm usually in the mood for any sort of Silent Hill game that's straight up, I should say, Silent Hill / Resident Evil, where you're like, it's a little spooky, things don't make any sense, and there's some action involved. Resident Evil 4 remake recently, just kind of reminds me that I enjoy that vibe, right? So that's what this is. I don't forget who it was, but some developers who worked on other spooky horror games worked on this game. And there's some, negativity around them for some reason. I'm not getting into that because I don't know what that is. But I will say the game, I had a feeling was going to be bad, but I got it again because it's bad sometimes. And I know this could be a tangent. Don't support things that are bad. But again, if I'm making content from it, that's kind of.
I mean, I don't know if it's. I don't know anything about this game really. So if it's bad, good, or bad, bad, are we talking bad, bad?
It's bad, bad. Yeah, it's
okay.
bad, bad.
Okay.
So spoiler, it's bad, bad. The first thing, again, it's all laughable. It's all like funny jokes. There's a YouTube video that says, what are the worst cutscenes in video games ever? And one of them's from this game.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because it's like the animations on the character. You play as a kid. I guess he's in, I don't know, 20s or whatever, and he's a guy, and he is at home, and he's inherited his grandmother's house, and it's haunted and weird and creepy. And I'll get to the story in a minute, but that's who you are. But you and everybody in this game has like super detailed facial animations.
Okay.
So it could be like lauded for that and be like, wow, look how, kind of cool that looks. But they're all so off at times where like they're just expressing for no reason. So he'll just say something and be like, his eyes are wide, or he'll like be grimacing and like when the other person's talking and like that'd be weird, if that happened.
Do you think it's
life.
like AI generated or something? Is that why it's all wonky?
No, it's actually be nice if it was because I think it'd be timed better. I think AI could have done a better job.
Would do a better job, yeah.
Because it's just, I think they're trying, but I think it's just off, which makes some of the funniest cutscenes because it's like, man, I have a lot of content coming. You know what I mean? From this game.
Right.
Because like they say something and it just doesn't match. And also it's just so unbelievable. Like everything about it's unbelievable. Here's some fun, unbelievable. And then I'll tell you about the actual gameplay. So the kid moves into the house. Already weird, right? Take a house from a grandmother.
Sure.
He already knew that like she was into some cult stuff. So probably just don't take the house, right?
So he moves in anyway, right? Because he needs
does.
to play. I mean, with these housing prices, what else can you do?
What else could you do? You know what? That's a good point. So he moves in. This is a quick synopsis at the beginning because it's so funny. He's on the computer right away. He's working on the computer. He goes to a dating site because he wants to meet somebody.
Of course.
On the dating site, he meets someone who lives across the street from him.
Wow.
Which is weird, right?
Okay. That's convenient.
Very convenient. And then they start talking. She keeps like telling him to go investigate the house. Like she knows what's going on. Mm-hmm. He's like, what the hell? So he does. He kind of like talks to her and like goes and checks things out. And then you like take control, walk around the house, try to find stuff. At some point you see like fucked up shit, like scary monster stuff, right? He just sees it, freaks out with his facial animations over the top. Goes back to the desk and just talks to her again. He's like, yeah, it was crazy out there, man. It's like some weird stuff.
You got a line on a good hookup. You can't just drop that, because monsters are there. I mean,
he's focused. Yes, he's very focused.
It's hard to meet people these days, man.
Okay, so he does it again, though. He meets like many monsters. Like this monster that keeps showing up. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, whatever. And I'll just go back to talk to her. So long story short, she's like, you should probably leave. And he's like, I guess. Like after seeing like the Book of the Dead, he finds the Book of the Dead in there too.
Oh, wow.
All these things that are like, every red flag.
Grandma, what have you been up to?
Grandma's been up to some shit.
Jesus.
Okay. Man, I wish that could be the podcast title. Grandma's been up to some shit. SH*T.
Maybe. Possible.
So she has been, by the way. And, that house is fucked up. So they leave to go to like the cemetery or whatever to find out. This is all spoiler, but who cares? Minor spoilers. That woman across the street is like, I don't want to give that spoiler.
Is it your grandma?
It is your grandma, yeah.
Is it really?
And no.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
Flirting with you. It connected you in some way and knows the whole story of your life. So that's why it's not a random date thing. It's like this.
Is it your
person's
mom?
Been watching it. No, it's not anybody.
Oh man, okay.
Like that kind of. Okay,
I'm
you're
just thinking of like
close.
some kind of weird like old boy twist where you get to the end of the game, you hook up, and it's like, surprise, I'm your grandma.
Right. It's not grandma, but
That's
it is
the true
actually
horror.
something similar.
Okay. Is it your dad?
Oh my goodness, you're just gonna guess everybody.
I'm gonna go through all the members of the family.
Okay, you want me to tell you?
Yeah, okay. Spoiler warning for anybody who wants to play this game, which doesn't sound like it's worth playing, but jump ahead like 1 minute.
Yeah.
Because Carlos is going to spoil me because is it your dog?
It's your sister.
Oh,
man. You named everything else except that.
Wow. And you were going to hook up with your sister? Dude.
I know. So the point is, she brings you out to this like place in the woods, of course, to like go to this gravestone and figure it out, whatever, blah, 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 the story of your life and why.
How do you not know it's your sister?
Because it's a long story. It's a long story.
Okay, long story.
But, the minute you get there, she's like, here's a gun. And he's like, I've never held a gun before in my life. And then it's just you by yourself because she's like, I'll wait at the car. Bullshit, you know?
Oh.
Everything is a fucking joke. And then he goes and fights, and there's monsters in the woods, of course. And he's immediately good at shooting because,
Sure.
you know, he's never held a gun.
Well, he's played video games. That's all you need. You play a couple Call of Duties. You're an expert shooter.
It isn't all you need. People listening. Try to shoot a real gun in real life. It's not. There's a lot of kickback. Anyways, the point of the story is it's not good. The game, actual fighting and like shooting things is clunky. It feels weird and not fun. I just kept playing it for like finding content.
Right.
So it's not a good game. Okay. And I will say one more thing about it. The very beginning is, I said there was 2 games in here that had offensiveness to it.
Yes.
It's
Is the
like
other one?
fucked up offensive. Like,
oh, really?
I'll tell you what happens because I think people just skip it.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. That's fair.
It's the backstory, and which is why this girl's your sister, because it shows a family all fucked up doing dark things that I won't actually say. They're so fucked up.
Yeah. Okay.
People like, you know, doing dark things. The whole family's fucked up, and the father goes and kills everybody because he realizes the whole house is possessed. Like, that's so dark, and maybe something Brad would watch in a horror movie. I don't know.
That sounds even too dark for me, man.
I can't do it. I can't watch that kind of stuff. And I just didn't want to watch it in my game. And I was like, oh, I feel bad for buying this, you know, because I hated that beginning so much.
Yeah.
But what it's trying to do, and it could have done it many different ways, is say that that's the beginning origin story, and that's your sister was one of those characters in that, you know, flashback.
Gotcha.
And you don't remember anything, amnesia, blah, blah. Anywho, this game's terrible, you know, whatever. I'm not going to promote it, so don't play it. But I own it, so I'm going to make a ton more videos out of it.
So I guess consider this your warning. Don't spend any money on this one.
No, unless you're a content creator like me. Sometimes people do that, you know. But man, oh man, what the hell?
All right. That's a pass for me, dog.
Pass. It up. Yeah, dude.
All right, let me talk to you about Custom Mech Wars. This just came out recently from D3 Publisher, who are the makers of Earth Defense Force, and that'll be very relevant in 2 seconds here. So basically, this is like an Armored Core game, and for everybody who doesn't remember, like me, Armored Core 6 came out this year, and I personally was pretty disappointed with it. I didn't even finish it. I didn't have a good time with it. And I was looking forward to that game for quite a while. So that got me all excited for a mech game, and it, for me anyway, didn't deliver. I know some people liked it, but just wasn't for me. So I saw this one come down the pipe, and I'm like, well, let's check this out. Graphics are super basic, and I think from the jump, you know this game has a different vibe because you watch a trailer for this, and at first it's like, okay, these are all like kind of mechs, and you kind of, okay, cool. But then there's like one that's like, his legs are like a car. Like an actual like car, like a Tesla or something. And then there's one who's got like sexy legs like a lady with high heels, and the top is like a gun turret. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then there's one that's like 19 wings on his back, and he's like flying. You're like, this is getting like weirder and weirder and weirder, and I don't know what's happening. And that's kind of the vibe of this game. So it's made by D3, which is the makers of Earth Defense Force. And if you remember, or if you know about Earth Defense Force, it's the famously janky third-person shooter where you fight like 18 million big bugs, and there's tons of clipping. The AI sucks. Control is not great, but it's such a hoot because they just don't care. Like, it's about the vibe, right? Like, you're just this one soldier shooting giant ants, and people are screaming in your ear, and you're just running around this weird map blasting bugs, and that's just what it's about. And that's a cool thing, and it's fun. Doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's exactly what happens here. This game is not a serious game by any stretch of the imagination, but it does take the Armored Core route, which I think is really interesting because I think Earth Defense Force, we've seen probably every permutation of that we can get, and they're doing something new. So you start off this game, and I will say, this game has too much story. I need them to stop talking. I don't want any more story. I don't want any more talking. I need them to just stop. I wish you could skip through the dialogue. You can't. So that makes me frown. But once you get to the action,
much talking in Earth Defense Force, I don't feel like there is.
It runs constantly in your ear when you're doing the mission, right?
Yeah, it's that little thing on the side. Yeah.
Yeah. So this game is not accessible because there's constant talking throughout from like minute 1 to the end of the mission. And it's just, you cannot read that and play the game at the same time. But whatever. It's all meaningless faff anyway. But the good part about this game was, number one, if you like Earth Defense Force, I guarantee you are going to love this game because it's the same goofy vibe, the same nonsensical stuff, but you have mechs, and mechs are better than people. Although, if you wish, you can get out of your mech and run around like the Earth Defense Force person. So that's there for you if you want it. But you can like run around and you have like machine guns and like melee weapons and missiles and all sorts of like goofy weapons. But the cool thing about this is the construction. You can go to the mech maker and it is bananas, dude. You can do like basically anything you want. Like you got to earn some parts and you got to earn some resources. So you can't just, it's not like a free play, but like once you get some stuff under the hood, you get tons of like blueprints, tons of like other parts you can use. And you have your mech, you have like head, chest, arms and legs, all the guns, but you can put them like anywhere you want. Like you don't have to follow the humanoid, phenotype, right? Like you can have a guy who's got like no chest, head on top of his crotch, arms off of his ankles, and like, he runs like a crazy person, but it'll still work, right? Or you can have 16 arms, or you can put a gun on your forehead, or you can do, 2 arms on one side and a rocket launcher on the other, or you can do like whatever you want. Yeah, it's fun, dude. It's super fun. I was putting together some crazy stuff and just like laughing, like literally just like laughing at it, how goofy it is. And you can take it to the testing room to see if it makes sense to use. And it's really a good time. So just imagine Armored Core, but take out all the sad, boring, stoic stuff of Armored Core and then throw in the Earth Defense goofiness of like, you possibly cannot take it seriously. And that's what this game is. I think it's a really fun time. If you like that vibe, this is that vibe. And just putting the mechs together on its own could have been just the game. I think that in itself is so fun. Like just like the way you can tilt stuff and attach it to these different hard points, and like, your entire front can be just like 19 guns and you've got like boosters and stuff. It's just really, really fun and just goofy and a good time and lighthearted and laugh upon laugh upon laugh. I had a great time with this game. I think it's really fun.
That seems cool, man. I have no idea. And from looking at the cover, I feel like it wasn't great cover art.
No, it isn't.
Like I was like a little confused. Yeah. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I think Earth Defense Force had like, was it just you killing a bug or something?
Yeah, just shooting a bug in the face or something like that. But anyway, this is it's a really fun game. It's really just like, just nonsensical and like just hollering because it's just like it's just so wild and weird. So I dig it. I think it's a great antidote to the disappointment that for me anyway was Armored Core 6. So there you go.
Check it out.
Check that out for sure, especially if you like your Earth Defense Force. Carlos, over to you for some Xbox action. What's going on here, sir? What's up?
Oh, yeah, Game Pass. I got it back.
You re-upped your Game Pass. How come you did that?
Just for one game.
Really?
I did it for one game that I'll talk about right now.
Okay.
And then because I had it, I played another game that I liked. So, it does have some good games, people. I'm not going to say that. I do have too many services, though, and there's still that problem.
Yeah, too many subs these days, but go ahead.
Oh, wait, before.
What?
They think they only... Yeah, their default to join Game Pass is Ultimate.
Yeah.
Now, let me take that apart for a second. One, it says you can get all these games on your PC. I don't want that.
Yes.
Right? I don't want that. That's not what I want. I just want... I have my Xbox Series X for a reason, and I want games on it.
Okay.
So I don't need that. But the other tier, which was not available, they don't make it available, of course, until you like go to another option. Like you've got to go many layers down.
Like it's not immediately available.
It's not even you have to go to a different place. Like I couldn't do it. Like when they go join Game Pass, it was not that. It was just Ultimate. Right. So that was kind of bullshit, but whatever. It's just they're trying to upsell. So I had to like go into the menu of Game Pass and go further down and get to there's another option, which is just regular Game Pass.
Right.
Which is cheaper, which I want.
Yes.
I didn't get that because I was confused. And they did that on purpose. They said, you get lots of games. And then they said on Game Pass Ultimate, you get all of our games. Okay. Which ones are those fuckers?
Who knows?
Is it Lies of P? Because that's the game I'm going to talk about right now. And that's the game I wanted. But I couldn't tell. They did that on purpose.
What is the price difference between the one you have and Game Pass Ultimate?
I think Ultimate was 18. I think the original was like 10.
Okay.
So it was quite a, it's $10 or whatever.
It's not nothing. It's not
nothing. And the point is it's less about the money. Just tell me what it is. It said like hundreds of games or something. I don't know. It just said a number and it didn't say like what's the difference.
Well, to be fair though, I do think that they did try to get you in on the Ultimate, and I think they are definitely leaning into Ultimate as the only thing that anybody needs. It is an upsell for sure, but honestly, I think I prefer that to Sony's thing where it's like, I think I'm in like the second to the top middle left tier. Like I don't know which tier I'm on and which one has the thing. I mean, Sony's thing is not clear either. And I think being presented with like at least 3 choices on the Sony side for me is like, well, I don't know which one either. So I guess I'll pick the middle. And that's why, I don't know.
It's an unacceptable claim for that because I hate both and they both need to do better. Because
Agreed.
If you look at Xbox, I'm looking at it right now on the website, Xbox Game Pass Core bullshit, $10 a month. Okay. So that's what they launched with. That's what they said they're going to do.
Right.
If they're just like Netflix, if they're just going to raise the price, just make it one and then raise the price. That's it.
Right.
But being confused to make people purchase things is wrong. And PlayStation's doing it wrong. And in my opinion now, this Ultimate's doing it wrong. Because it's touting this idea of PC. I don't give a shit. I don't want that from you. I have an Xbox,
Right.
So anyways, that aside, they made me buy Ultimate. So fuck them.
So I guess maybe look and see what PC games they do have because you play on PC sometimes.
I will, but that's not the point. The point is I just want
the
baseline version that gives me all the Xbox games on Game Pass. That's all I want. And I think it might be the $10 version. I still don't know. Okay. Everybody at home is listening is yelling that they know the answer. But
you got it for Liza P.
Liza P is why I got it. Then I played another game, which I'll talk about after. So Liza P, we both played originally. I played the demo. We both played the demo.
And then I played a little bit of the full version, and I liked it, but I didn't have time for it at the moment, but I do want to come back to it.
Oh, you still haven't come back to it?
No, I have not come back to it yet.
So I got it because I thought you were going to go back to it, but you haven't yet.
I am watching my wife play it, and she is almost done. I've watched almost all of it.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have watched it. You see the vibe, whatever. And I think the things that I thought about last time, again, this was... I got better at Souls games. I don't want to call them that, but whatever. I got better at this kind of style of game with a lot of the games we played this year, including Elden Ring. But I don't know. I just felt like I could pick a different weapon this time because I went heavy last time, which is a strength build, which is much harder to play. And I just looked online, and people said like balance is easier and not to do, obviously, the light version because then you're just going to get stomped. So I did balance, and I did find it easier.
Okay.
There is no difficulty in this game settings, but I just felt like, oh, okay, I have a handle on this. And also the demo was out of order. Lots of times we don't talk about this on the show, but demos don't do the same order for the story, right? Like in the demo, I remember going right to a boss, like pretty soon.
Isn't the demo exactly like the level 1? I'm pretty sure it's literally level 1.
I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure it is. Also, before we get too deep, we should probably recap for people what this game is.
I will in a minute, but to that point, it can't be because I played a lot of this game before I found a boss. Like I'm pretty sure
it's exactly level 1, dude.
Really?
Yeah, because you're in the train, you're in the train station, you meet the mechanical police officer who's kind of glitching, who's like a mini boss. You mess around in the town, and then you get to the big guy who's got the cage on his back, who's like the circus master, and that's the first boss.
Okay, so none of that happened in the game.
I mean,
none of what you just said happened in my playthrough. There was no guy with the cage on his back. There was no mini bosses. There was just the big boss after I got to the circus where there was like the upgrade area. Did you play up to that point?
Yeah, I played past that point, and I watched my wife play it. Like it's literally what I just described is exactly the opening 2 hours of the game.
We can not agree to disagree. Whatever.
Are you sure you played Liza P?
I know. Maybe I played Liza T. That's what I played. I played Liza T.
You got the knockoff version that was on Xbox Game Pass.
This has like chai tea as your main weapon, right?
Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then you throw the tea in the face, right?
Yep.
And they go, and then you can like hit them from the back.
So spicy.
Yeah, they go, spicy chai tea in my eyes. Spicy chai tea in my eyes is a good podcast name. So, okay, whatever it is, the game is you play as a modernized Pinocchio. And you can pick light, medium, or heavy weapon in the beginning. Later on, they say about level 40 or 50, you can respec. But for the longest time, you're stuck with that. So me going back and picking balance helped a lot because it's basically like you still find loot, you still find different weapons, but you have this kind of style and you kind of build for that style, which is
just to be clear, just a little bit of a counterpoint. I mean, you get the other weapons pretty quick. So if you don't like the medium or whatever weapon you pick, you got to choose one at the beginning, but then you get the other two like before you even fight the first boss. So you can have heavy and light and medium or balanced or whatever, and you're not locked into a build because you put your stat points in however you wish, so you can do whatever you want. You're not locked in anything.
No, yeah, but the stat points you can't pull back out. So you are working at a build.
You got to respec later, but you're not forced to put him in a certain
No,
build,
you're right. Yeah. And I don't think I got a light weapon though, because I didn't get too many loot drops. I found like one sword, and it was a strength sword. Which
you just buy them. You just buy the weapons.
Oh, I guess you can go to that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy weapons anywhere.
Well, either way, the point is I built for medium, right?
Okay.
And so that balance helped me because it's a little faster, but it's not as super fast, but it also it just makes you more maneuverable, which I need in these games.
Gotcha.
The things I liked better this time was, again, I don't remember the original demo, but it seemed like I had a lot more time in the world before I had to fight a boss.
Yeah, you can mess around the town for quite a while, yeah.
Yeah, and then I did a little bit of I don't know what they call it in Souls games, but grinding. Mm-hmm. Go back to the, what's it called?
The bonfire.
The bonfire,
or whatever. Yes.
Right, yeah. Laser fire or something. And so I did a lot of that and kind of just felt better and upgraded myself pretty well, And then when I got to that first boss, I felt more prepared than I think last time.
Yeah.
And I had ideas of how to beat it, And even though there's 2 phases of it, the second phase gave me a little bit of trouble, but I did figure it out finally. I don't know. I'm glad I went back because I found the fun a little more, and I took my time, and I think the build was really important because I'm always strength. I'm always thinking big melee. What can we do to hit a lot of damage?
Yeah.
But this game is a lot of dodging.
Oh, tons of dodging, yeah.
And I did a better job at parrying. The window is not terrible. The window's better with balanced. And I keep saying that because I don't know, that's what I picked, and that's kind of the weapons I went with, the mid-tier weapons. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I feel like I had a bigger window. I might be wrong, but I feel like I had a bigger parry window, especially with the regular enemies. I could just hold it down sometimes. But yeah, with the bosses, I parried and successfully did parries here and there. So I don't know, when you go back to it, it'd be interesting to see, but it wasn't Wolong, right? Where I go.
Oh yeah, by no means.
Yeah, I wasn't I'm gonna fuck this game forever. It's almost also because it's a little janky at times. It's not perfect iframes, or it's not perfect precision maybe a Souls game. I felt like I had more chances in a way, Anywho, I love. I mean, the style's amazing, right? The aesthetic is beautiful.
Oh yeah, the vibes and stuff are really strong.
The vibe is so good.
Yeah,
and
really
I just felt in the real world before the boss, I just was having a very good time with it. I was challenged, but I wasn't getting destroyed.
Right.
And I think I died once in the regular world, ever. So yeah.
Yeah, I got to come back. I am coming back to this. It's on my hard drive. Like I said, I watched my wife play almost the whole game, and she's stone's throw away from rolling credits. And I think I do want to come back to it. I love the style, and I think it's one of those games where I would really recommend people mess around in the first part of the game and not really rush. Don't try to get to the boss right away.
Exactly, that's it.
Yeah, I that was my advice to her, because I was like, hey, just feel it out. Get to come to grips with how you move, how the weapon moves, and just grind for a while. She was in the first town grinding. As soon as she got to the first bonfire, it's called a astrologer or something like that. It's called something else, but she got to the first bonfire, and I'm like, listen, just take a day and just grind here, get a bunch of levels, increase all your stats, and just practice how it feels. That was my advice for Bloodborne, and I feel like that was good advice back then. And this has a very similar Bloodborne vibe to me as well. Mm-hmm. So she got comfortable with it at that point, and then she felt good enough to move on, and she's made steady progress since then. So I definitely think that the fundamentals are here, the style is here, and the vibe is definitely here. I'm really into the, I don't know, quasi steampunk sort of thing, and I hear there's a pretty cool surprise at the end if you watch all the way to the credits. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. But yeah, I'm definitely going to come back to this probably pretty soon, sooner rather than later.
Good. Let's bring it back to the show, and we'll see how far I get to, because I might get mad at one boss or something. But
yeah,
I also don't like the fact that you have to do that stupid Monster Hunter thing. Sharpening.
Yeah,
dumb,
I will say
dumb.
A piece of advice for you, Carlos.
Yeah.
I would say don't ignore elemental affinity. Pay attention to that. And I would also say throwables are clutch. In most Souls games, I think we tend to ignore the bonus items you get or whatever. But in this game, they often literally make the difference between winning and losing. So get familiar with your different throwables, and definitely add fire, lightning, poison, whatever to your weapon. Like, don't ignore those
yeah.
like we usually do. They make a big deal in this game.
That's a good point, and also the point, like you said earlier, is why I enjoyed it more. Is I just took my time and grinded a bit, and it goes
Don't rush it. Don't rush.
And the other real quick other pro tip is that moving around enemies, like that's huge in this game, which is not the dodge. It's just like literally moving. Like it's a strafe.
Exactly.
And if you go around during the fight, you have better chances.
Exactly. And you can upgrade your dodge and stuff, by the way. It's kind of buried in the skill tree. I will say, I think the skill tree is kind of like overly complicated. It could be a little simpler, but if you explore that, there are places you can improve your dodge and your iframes and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure.
Then I'll be doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Check that out as soon as you get a chance. It unlocks like a good patch into the game, but once you get there, you've got options to kind of customize your person even more. So.
All right. Well, it's a good game, and it's on people's list for like favorite games of the year.
Yeah,
so,
rightfully so.
I'm glad I went back to it.
All right, right on. Liza P, that's definitely a check it out. And if you got Game Pass, that's a double check it out.
Yeah, it depends on which version you have. Who knows?
Who knows? Give it a shot. All right, well, that's not the only thing you're playing on Game Pass, though.
Am I doing a double, a twofer?
You're doing a double. You're doing a twofer because you also played
Goat Simulator 3.
Goat Simulator 3. And isn't that weird because they skipped over 2?
No, they did not. Did they?
They did.
Oh, that was the joke because the trailer did yeah.
Yep, that was the joke. They did Goat Simulator and they skipped over Goat Simulator 2. We are now at Goat Simulator 3,
That's
kind of like what Windows does sometimes. So tell us about Goat Simulator 3, man.
So it came out a while ago. I think it was last year, actually.
On
Probably.
PC?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it came out even a little while ago on Game Pass. I forgot.
I don't know. Maybe.
We don't do homework. We're not going to look it up.
No homework.
But the point is, I'm just kind of coming back to it because I always enjoy those games. They're kind of weird and fun. And so obviously the first one was such a, crazy thing out of left field. No one had any idea. And what it is you're a goat and it's a simulator, obviously in the name, but it's like over the top physics, over the top ridiculousness. That's what the original was, sold on, the fact that you're a goat, but it's actually really just a physics game where you're running around hitting things and grabbing things and making things fall over. And Simulator 3 does everything to the 10th degree. I want to mention that game that I didn't like. Where's it? What the game where you're old people and it's like a physics game?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And it's like this game, but I don't like it.
I do not know what it's called, but I remember I hated it.
Okay, so those kind of games kind of like tried to do what Goat Simulator did, which is create a fun open world and just have physics chaos happen, right? It's hard to do those, actually, and also be funny. We talk about this on the show a lot. To do comedy is hard. I think if you do emergent gameplay that is inherently funny on its own and you do everything right, then funny moments just happen. This is a perfect example of this. It feels like GTA with the Goat Simulator game, right? And it's the other thing that it does is it opens it up where you start. And by the way, the very first part of this game is the Skyrim opening.
Oh, is it really?
So, yeah,
That's
you're
funny.
you're a goat in a cart with a bunch of other goats, and the guy's telling a story, just like Skyrim. But this character, because you can't move, you're in this cart. The tractor he's on is just hitting people. Like they're like falling over, dying. So it's all super like, it's not funny. It's just like good enough. Like it's solid. It's like a solid. Okay, we get it. That's a physics joke. Okay, they get it. That's a character. An NPC just died. That's kind of funny.
Like not laugh out loud, but you're chuckling.
You're chuckling, and you're having a good time. And it also does a really good, steady stream of dopamine, like a Diablo or something, where like when you finally get off the cart and you find the tower, they straight up do like a Far Cry tower. Like when you unlock the tower, you can see more of the map. Bullshit.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a goat tower.
Right.
And so when you get to your first area, the whole map has like question marks and exclamation points. You get to one, you do a thing, and you feel good. You feel like you've got an upgrade. You get upgrade just by walking around. You find something, get a trophy or whatever. You get a new thing that's new shoes. You get cosmetics all the time. And it just keeps hitting you on fun little things you're doing. And I think it just does it better than any other, version of that game it's done. And then on top of that, it just hits you with surprises, which I think it's always done, but here's a really huge surprise. I just went to a house, kind of a callback to Stray Souls in a way, and there was an old lady in the basement. You unlocked the basement somehow. I forgot you did. Oh, no. The old lady was in the backyard, and she was hitting me with like kickballs. Those like war ball, little like spongy balls?
Sure.
And I had a kick, like, headbutt her. And when I got rid of her, I opened up her basement. I went in the basement, and it turned into Wolfenstein 3D. Like real, like pixely,
like just like pixely first person. Oh,
and
that's
I
funny.
am a pixel goat in Wolfenstein 3D, and I had to fight versions of her, the old lady, in that world.
Right.
And then when I beat it, I got her rocking chair. I came back out into the real world, and my costume, my new cosmetic, was an old lady on top of me, riding me, shooting like little balls.
That's funny. Yeah, okay, that's funny. I mean, I watched my son play 1,000,000 hours of the original Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
And although I never wanted to play it because I actually did not like playing it, watching him play it was really funny because there was a lot of like little nods and jokes and weird surprises. And you could like summon the devil, and there was like whales, and you could do like airplane stuff, and you could be a flamingo, and like it was just like this random, like really random jokey stuff, dance club and everything.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's right in that same alley of the really absurdist kind of humor, and you chuckle, maybe not laughing out loud, but you're chuckling and thinking things are clever. So
yeah,
that's pretty good.
Clever is good because again, there's like this like a neighborhood area. There's like a city area. There's a lot of areas in this map. It's quite big, and then they do things like they joke. What's it called? IKEA. Like there's a fake IKEA there.
Oh, okay.
It's called something else. By the way, the frog that was in your throat a couple weeks ago is in
I know.
mine
I'm
now.
sorry. Yes,
I can't get rid of it.
Yes.
And so it's just doing that kind of like, nods, like you said, clever nods. And the number one thing of why this game is fun, okay, besides the physics and all the stuff that you would think in this Goat Simulator, is because I think in general, the headbutt is better. So the goat headbutt ability is your main thing. But you can do that to anything you want. I mean, I did a sequence. Oh, you can ride cars too. I don't know if you could ride cars in the first one. But
maybe.
You can take over any car, so it's just straight up GTA.
Okay.
And little goat puts his head out the window.
That's funny.
But you can like instantly command any vehicle in the world, including bikes and I mean everything you think of. And so there was a sequence where the headbutting's so fun. I was headbutting people, just do that. Like I was on the a trail. There's hikers, and they're like, "Oh, hi, a goat," and I just headbutt them off the mountain. Endlessly fun. It doesn't get old. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's physics when the people like clump over and stuff. And then so the headbutting feels really fucking good. So everything you do it has some sort of damage. And so even cars, like I headbutted a guy driving his own car, and I knocked him off the road, and it burned or whatever. And then there was a sequence where I was on fire as a goat, and went in and turned everybody else on fire in the gas station. Exploded the gas station. The fire truck showed up. I headbutted the fire truck. It flew over, and then I jumped in someone's car and took off. That's all. Whatever. It's just fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just goofy, wacky.
It's goofy.
Kind of in the same vibe as Custom Mech Wars, where you come to it for a certain kind of experience where you want to laugh, nothing's too serious, like you want some jokes or goofiness, and it's just kind of a, you're just in the mood to have a good time kind of a thing.
And the dopamine. I mean, you headbutting things and things falling over. And I think, again, they did a clever job of the NPCs reacting to you, look at this goat or whatever. Or people going like, man, that goat looks bad. And then you do something and it goes, oh, fuck that goat, they're mad at him and stuff. I just like the reactions. I like the headbutting. And I just think it's really smart. Like it's a smart video game. They know what they are, and it's just really fun. So I was surprised that I had so much fun with it.
Oh, I definitely have to get my son on that. I told him about it, but he's been really wrapped up in his Roblox stuff, so I'll have to pull him off of that and get him on Goat Simulator so I can watch over his shoulder. Don't want to play it, but I do want to watch it. So.
Yeah, I thought he would like it. It's really fun.
All right. Well, there are two compelling reasons to get on Game Pass right there, so check that out.
You can figure out which version it is.
That's right. Final game of the show is a game that really came out of nowhere, and I'm honestly surprised and impressed that anybody even got it made.
What?
Ebenezer and the Invisible World. You seen this one?
I was waiting for you to bring to the show because I think we talked about it a while ago.
Yeah.
And I was going to get it. It was a platformer about Scrooge.
It is literally about Ebenezer Scrooge from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Literally that guy that we all know. Mm-hmm. And this continues the story of A Christmas Carol.
Like everybody's been clamoring for it this whole time.
Everybody's been waiting for like literally 300 years or whatever it is to find out what happens next. This is it. This is part 2. So you start off the game with a ghost visiting Ebenezer. This is reformed Ebenezer after he's been visited.
Right.
He becomes a nice guy. He realizes all the stuff. We've all seen the movie there's a million versions of this movie. We've all heard the story. Maybe you've seen it on theater. Who knows? Like, we all are familiar with A Christmas Carol. If you don't know what A Christmas Carol is, please Google it and watch one of those movies. So it starts off with a new ghost visiting and saying, hey, Ebenezer, we need your help because there was another rich person very similar to you who was visited by a similar 3 ghosts, but instead this guy got a 4th ghost, and the 4th ghost is like, yeah, fuck those 3 guys. Double down on your evil. And the guy's like, okay. So there's a little bit of a twist, but they kind of posit that there's this whole other spiritual realm that kind of dabbles in messing with humanity. So Ebenezer is recruited to pull this guy back, to further reform him and get him to stop listening to that evil 4th ghost who wants him to double down. So plays out as a 2D Metroidvania platformer, kind of like any, like your Metroidvania general. You've got your jump, you got your double jump. His weapon is his cane. And it's all super mega ultra Christmas themed. If you're looking for a Christmas game, This is your jam. It does not get more Christmassy than this.
Oh my goodness. Next week I should bring all the Christmas games. I love holiday stuff.
Okay.
Like just holiday themed games. Like I play the Halloween games at Halloween time. So I might find some next week. We'll
do it, man. Episode. Do it. Yeah, for sure. This is Christmas to like 11. And I got to say, so the controls are a little bit janky and the whole game is just like a little bit wonky, but overall it's like a legit game. I almost thought it was going to be like a joke game, right? Like who the hell is going to make an Ebenezer Scrooge game? But they take it very seriously. Like there is a good map. There is a good UI and menu system that has subquests where you help people in town. And it's all it's all on theme, right? The first person, like one of these people is like, oh, this little girl is a street urchin and she wants to buy this dress and she can't afford it. Ebenezer, will you please use your fortune and buy her this dress? And you're like, yes, I shall, because I am now a nice guy. And, like you're doing shit like that. Or like this kid is like locked in this factory and like, like they did back in Victorian times. You got to get the kid out of the factory and stop him from working. And you'll be visited by all these other ghosts. You see Tiny Tim like right off the bat and he's like, hey, what's up, Eb?
Oh,
and you kind of do some stuff. And it's just really, it's a Metroidvania, so like you know what to expect. You got to get like certain upgrades to unlock the map. I mean, it doesn't revolutionize the formula, but in terms of theming, I have to say I had a smile on my face the entire time because I'm just so fucking blown away. They went for it. Like they took it seriously. They leaned into it like no joke. There is no wink and no nod here. I mean, other than the fact that Ebenezer is like running and jumping and I mean, he's like an old man.
He's spry now.
He's spry. He is unnaturally spry.
Yeah.
So once you get past that part, the rest of it is great. And he's assisted by ghosts. So these ghosts who want him to make other people good, one of them will attack. And so you build up your meter by whacking people with your cane. And then you can summon this soldier ghost. He comes out with like a sword and stabs somebody. There's this other little boy ghost who got killed as a kid and he likes balloons. And if you need a double jump, he will make a balloon appear from the spirit world. You can bounce off it for a double jump.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, and like everything, like everywhere you get, like Ebenezer would get life, he's eating a roast goose or he's got some cranberries because it's all fucking Christmas themed. And he's going through London and it's snowy and there's like all those, the old timey London vibes everywhere. I mean, they went for it like for real. And I'm surprised and shocked. And also I think it's actually pretty good. I'm kind of digging it, dude.
Dude, I'm so surprised. Yeah, I mean, that seems all fun, especially right now in the holidays.
Yeah, it's like the perfect fucking Christmas game, man. So, early days, I'm not super far into it, but I got a couple levels in, and I'm like, oh man, I am shocked that I'm actually enjoying this, and I think it's if you had told me someone was going to make a Scrooge game, I would have told you to fuck off. I never would have believed you, but I'm here playing it, and I think it's worth a look. So, again, it doesn't revolutionize the genre. It's not going to be on anybody's top 10 list this year, but like, putting that aside, the fact that somebody even attempted to do this and they did a good job, to me, is like fucking hats off, dude. Like, so full awesome. Applause. Full applause.
Okay, you saying yes, that means I'm going to get it because I definitely was on the fence with it. And
it's I think it's a yes.
It's also pretty cheap, I think. It was like under $20.
It's a budget title, and I think, so, going in with your expectations, properly calibrated, but still, I think it's a good game. I definitely recommend it, dude.
Okay, I'm going to get it for the holiday episode. Also, I want to say you just helped me quite a bit. You didn't even know you did.
I don't know I did. What'd I do?
So you mentioned it's crazy that they made this game on this old character, Ebenezer Scrooge, blah, blah. That got my wheels moving in my head. Okay. I'm going to make it about me, and it's a tangent, sorry. But I've been on the fence trying to figure out what kind of sketch series to do, some comedy. And literally, I don't know. I'm so confused. And just me thinking about Ebenezer makes me think about what other characters are in the public domain.
Oh, yeah. Lots of stuff just came in the public domain.
So that I can go jump into and be like, maybe I'll make the world this. Because, like, don't reinvent the wheel, right? Like, take things that people know about, but then do your own twist on it. That's what art is about. You know what I mean? A lot of art. So I'm just now thinking I'm going to go check out what's in there. What's in that public domain I can have.
Well, there you go.
So thanks, Ebenezer. And also, the gameplay sounds awesome.
There we go. And that is the last game of the show. Before we wrap it up, anything non-games related that you want to throw out to our listeners here?
Well, that I'm just going back to, like, hearing that in my head, me saying that whole spiel, being very excited, and you're like, all right, well, there you go.
There you go.
So anyways.
I await your next sketch.
Please just stop talking about public domain and whatever. So do I have anything else? You mean the after the show thing?
Yeah, the after the show stuff. Anything now that the game portion is officially done? We usually do bring a few non-games things to the show. You got anything this week, Carlos? You don't have to. But...
I will say Our Flag Means Death is so very good.
Oh, I got to get back to that. Yeah.
Because now I'm in the last season. I don't think they're going to do another one. I don't think they need to. Okay. But tonight I'll be watching the finale of the second season. And every time I watch an episode in this second season, I go, oh, fuck them. And that means, in Carlos' language, like, holy shit, they pulled that off.
That was so good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Every time, it's funny because also maybe as a content creator, you get that little ping of jealousy too. You go,
sure.
Oh, I wish I could have been a part of that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I hear you.
That's a good sign for a show, you know? I literally been saying that at the end of every episode. I go, fucking hell, they do that. And feels and everything, dude. That series is fucking special.
I've had so many people tell me I got to come back to it. I bounced off of the first episode. It didn't quite click, but literally everyone I know in my entire life is like, you got to go back and watch past the first episode.
It's like Lives of P, okay? Perfect coming around one more time. You definitely just got to give it some time. And then you do, and you go, oh my goodness. And then also Fargo, which I love, the new season.
Right.
I can't binge it, but I'm up to speed on that. And it's so good.
All right.
And then a very important message to everybody listening. It's a dark one. It's got, and it's going to bother me, I didn't look her up, but an actress is in it. She's a voice actress because it's an animated show, but she's been in so many things, and I love her to death, and I can't think of her name. But Carol and the End of the World finally came out at Netflix. I've been following it for a while. I forgot that woman's name. I'm gonna find out.
Who is the team behind this? Because it's got some big names in terms of the animators behind it, right?
It does. I don't remember. I just remember seeing the trailer a long time ago.
Is it some of the Rick and Morty people, or is it somebody else?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Created by Dan Guterman. So what did he do? We could look it up.
We're not going to do
Martha Kelly. She's so fantastic. She was in I Think You Should Leave, a couple of series, a sketch there. But she's been a million things. She's so good. Check out this series. It's dark. It's really good. It's really fucking good.
Excellent.
That's all I got.
Okay. As for me, I guess I'm pouring another one out in my mouth or otherwise for Nancy Drew. I love the show. I've talked about it a couple times here on the podcast, but it was a reimagining of the old-timey book girl detective series where they added some CW flair to it. There was some teen romance, there was Monster of the Week, there was supernatural stuff. They had a great cast, I think really came together. We're watching season 4 right now, and I just yesterday found out the show was canceled, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't start season 4 properly emotionally prepared because I thought there was going to be more of it. And so, I guess I should have looked it up now. I guess you should always look it up for any show we watch anytime, anywhere, ever, because you never know. But I thought there was going to be other seasons, so I was not, bracing myself for the end, but this is the end. Apparently, it wasn't even canceled because of viewership. It was canceled because their parent company got bought by some other parent company, and it was some stupid merger, and they ended up canceling all of the shows. And I'm like, why did you buy the company if you were going to cancel the shows? What is possibly the point of that? Probably another one of those fucking debt offloading deals or something like that. But basically, they bought the company, killed almost their entire lineup, and these shows are now over unceremoniously, which is a shame because I thought Nancy Drew was great, one of my personal favorites. So it's now season 1 through 4, and that's it. And I have 2 episodes left, and now I'm going to cry when we are done with this podcast. Shame.
Shame.
To talk about another somewhat sad thing, people have been asking me for updates on my chickens, and I wanted to give a quick update. We have chickens here. I had 12 chickens. I now have 11 chickens. We've had a hawk or a falcon, probably a falcon, circling our yard for a while. He scoped us out last year, but he was too small. I think he was not a skilled hunter at that time. He just couldn't get the job done. And our chickens are, like good sized chickens. But this year he got bigger and he got better and he finally picked one off. He got one of our chickens. Her name was Nectarine. And we didn't see it. We didn't see it happen because he's smart. He knows when we're watching, right? He knew we were not around. And so he went to the backyard when no one was around and he got her. And man, there was not much left. I tell you, like it was pretty awful. And I do want to say, this is kind of a funny note. Like I eat chicken. It's fine. I've killed chickens. It's fine. Like, I'm just a realist that way, but I still have affection for my chickens. I will say though that Nectarine, not to speak ill of the dead, but she was one of my least favorite chickens.
Jeez.
We got her as a baby, as a chick. She had a messed up foot and we weren't sure she was going to survive. And so we spent a lot of extra time with her. We nursed her back to health. We gave her special TLC. She regained use of her leg and she was walking around. She had a bit of a limp, but she could still get around just fine. And after all that love and care and attention, she turned into a rotten fucking chicken. She had a rotten attitude. She was mean and nasty. And she was always trouble, always picking on the other chickens. She had bad mojo, man. So I always thought that was ironic that after all that love and care and attention we gave to her, she ended up being one of the chickens with the worst attitude. But anyway, she got picked off and she is no longer there. So what happened was I had to go out to the yard. We have free range chickens in our backyard. We got a pretty sizable backyard. So I had to fence it off. I had to cut their territory down by more than half. So they've got much less room to run around in. And I had to get some bird netting and I had to go to the yard and I covered my entire yard with bird netting. So the whole thing is enclosed now. So you got to kind of duck down and you go in my backyard. It's a pain in the ass. It's really irritating, but it's what we got to do, I guess. So
crazy. The wild world of animals.
Wild world of animals. So update there. Final update. I just want to give a weird kind of like commentary on Thundercats. I don't know if I mentioned that I was rewatching Thundercats, the original series. I'm sure you've seen it.
So it's so many times in this podcast this happens. You say a sentence like that, and I go, you've mentioned it every episode or something?
Not every episode.
Not every episode, but you have mentioned that you're rewatching Thundercats, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm rewatching Thundercats. We're in season 2. And there's an episode called Chain of Loyalty. So at one point, they come across like the treasures of Thundera. This is kind of a device that the writers created to give them something to do with each episode. Like every episode now, they're going after like one other new treasure of Thundera. So it's kind of the new MacGuffin thing going on. And again, for people who don't know, Thundercats, 1985 cartoon series, because I'm that old. It's about half, human, half animal people from another planet that come to Third Earth, which is like Earth post-apocalypse and whatever. You can look it up. I'm sure people know Thundercats. Anyway, so there's one of the treasures is called the Chain of Loyalty. And they say, oh, this is a thing that keeps the Thundercats happy and cooperative. And if you don't have this chain, like a necklace, they are going to become irascible and cranky and you're not going to have a team. And I'm like, that's weird because these guys are supposed to be cartoon heroes, like kind of role models, if you will. Like you look up to the good team cohesion and everybody does the right thing. So I'm like, where are they going with this? So they go into this cartoon episode. They find the chain. Mumra, who is the bad guy of the series, he breaks the chain right off the bat. And immediately every Thundercat turns fucking evil.
Oh, like they're feral or something?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what it was, dude. They were like, they got the dark look in their eye and they're fighting each other and they're setting traps for each other and they're going after each other. And I'm like, hold up. Because what you're telling me is when the Thundercats are not under the mental control of this necklace, you're telling me their base nature is they are lying, backstabbing, thieving bastards? That doesn't make any sense for this cartoon at all.
Can I explain why? I know exactly why.
Please do.
This is from the 80s. This was a toy line.
Yes.
And then it was a cartoon, right?
Yes.
They were trying to sell toys.
Exactly.
So it was a business executives in a meeting, and they were just like, hey, how about if they're all evil? Oh, well, let's do that. Let's do that then. Nowadays, we have series. We have people who are thinking about the
showrunners,
showrunners, right? And producers. It wasn't that. They had like a cartoon that was, helping sell toys. That's why I'm saying.
It was just...
Let's make them evil. That's what they said.
Just so fucking weird because when you look at what they did in that one episode, it's like you're saying that our heroes are actually evil and the only reason they're good is because they are basically under mind control slavery and they are being forced to obey the leader of the team.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, dude. That is super fucked up. So anyway, probably one of the worst episodes of the show, I think, and I think we're going to pretend like we never saw it. So.
Pretend you didn't see it. It's not canon.
Yeah, I'm shooting it out of a cannon is what I'm doing. So.
Nice.
All right, folks, that is the show. Before we close, I'd love for you to please leave a review, share us on social media, but most importantly of all, recommend us to your friends. That is the most important thing. Also, as I said before, if you'd like to support the show and help us out with the cost of running the podcast, hosting, etc., you can do that over at patreon.com/the So Video Games Podcast. And if you want to join our Discord, you can do that by joining at the $5 level. There is no paywall content, though. And as always, we'd love to get your questions and comments. Hit us up at sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com or hit us up individually. Carlos, where are we sending your traffic this week?
No. Just, listen to the podcast.
Just listen to the podcast. That's it.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Instagram's my name, BradGallaway, all A's, no O's. And this is going to do it for episode 367. Yes, 367. I always got to check that. God damn it. But thank you very much for joining us here on the So Video Games Podcast, and we'll see you next week.